Chapter 309. The cyan little fox is also very fast. As soon as Lin Luoran arrives at the edge of the bamboo forest, it also rushes over. Lin Luoran throws it on her shoulder. It clings to Lin Luoran's neck tightly. The wind makes the cyan little fox's hair stand up. Over a hill, Lin Luoran sees Lin Luodong's SLR camera on the ground. On the hillside, Huang Weijian is guarding in front of a wild tea tree. His mouth is closed tightly. It seems that he is holding back his anger. As for Lin Luodong, he opens his hands and stands in front of a group of people. It's so dark. Lin Luoran doesn't know why there is a conflict. Lin Luoran comes almost silently. She lands not far away, ready to see how things develop. Don't go too far. We found this wild tea tree first. Lin Luodong's eyes are red with anger. It seems that he has been wronged a lot. A man says with a fake smile, "Don't talk nonsense." This wild tea tree was found by a Nihanese tourist. Which school are you from? You are breaking international friendship. His accent was 100% Huaxia. What a compliment. He was really good at putting on airs. Was he a travel translator? It turns out that they are Nihanese. No wonder there are strange waves of power in them. It doesn't seem to be the way of Huaxia. Where is Goldie? Where is it? Lin Luoran secretly senses. It turns out that Goldie is hiding on the pine tree above her head, looking at these people coldly. If Lin Luoran doesn't come, Goldie will talk to them and they will all die. Huang Weijian didn't do anything because there were Nihanese cultivators among them, right? This child is a good seedling with a calm mind. If he can't kill them with one blow, he is willing to bear it. Sun Jun, we are willing to pay a lot of money to buy it. The speaker is a Nihanese woman in a white dress. She has neat bangs and a gentle expression. Lin Luoran can see things at night. At a glance, she feels that this Nihanese woman is very familiar. Well, isn't she the only woman who escaped from the Nihanese team on the night of Bermuda? Russia and Nihanese suffered the most in the night of Bermuda. The Nihanese team was completely annihilated, while the Nihanese had a woman who survived. That woman's photo is posted in the tribe of cultivators as a warning. A woman who can survive the annihilation of the whole team is not as gentle as she looks. By the way, she seemed to be called Sakurako Asada. Luodong says angrily, "We won't sell it." Not everyone in Huaxia is so short of money that they are willing to sell their souls. Lin Luoran has never seen Luodong like this before. It seems that Luodong must have done something wicked before Lin Luoran arrived. Jobs don't discriminate between the rich and the poor, and they are all ordinary people who are trying to make a living. They shouldn't hate each other so much. However, as a Huaxia man, Luodong bullies his own people. Lin Luoran doesn't understand why he would do such wicked things because of his twisted sense of inferiority. Huang Weijian takes out the bald pen and is ready to fight. The translator is still talking. Sakurako Asada looks at the 5 people on her side. It is not difficult to take down the little Huaxia cultivator. But why are the 2 Huaxia teenagers still staying in the mountains at night? He must have a teacher accompanying him. Sakurako Asada is not afraid of trouble, but she won't make trouble for no reason, especially in the land of Huaxia. The translator feels humiliated by Luodong's retort. He changes to his local dialect and curses Luodong. What a little bastard. Luodong is also stunned. Huang is not the only one who feels embarrassed. Luodong is also stunned. Sakurako Asada can understand some Huaxia language, but it is limited to Mandarin, which is widely used throughout the country. She also knows nothing about this dialect. Lin Luoran originally wants to see how the 2 children will be dealt with. Hearing this, she can't hide anymore and shows up. The dense forest is dark. When Lin Luoran moves, her breath-holding spell can't hide her breath. Even if Sakurako doesn't turn around, her whole body is stiff. This is the breath of an extremely powerful Huaxia cultivator. If she had known that the teacher of these two teenagers is such a powerful figure, they would have given up this rare wild tea. Money is hard to buy. Sakurako Asada is flexible. She turns around and makes a 90-degree greeting gesture. Master, Lin Luoran chuckles softly. Her young voice is exposed. Sakurako Asada looks up in surprise. When she sees Lin Luoran's face at a close distance, she buries her head deeper. Sister. Lin Luodong's eyes are red. At his age, it is hard enough for him to face these people, including the cynicism of the translator. When he sees the backbone, his eyes inevitably turn red. Sakurako Asada is short of breath. She wants to explain in a hurry, but she doesn't dare to raise her head. Just like how the tribe of cultivators occasionally gossips about this lucky Japanese woman and the star cultivators of other countries, Lin Luoran is now a rising star among the major forces on the earth. She is establishing her position step by step. A firefly can't compete with the bright moon. Lin Luoran doesn't even know that she has become a new force in the world. The name, Lin Luoran, has been branded with a gilded seal as she annihilates Crystal, a branch of the bloodline that challenges the bottom line of Huaxia. Miss Sakurako, you are too polite, so these people think you are easy to bully. The Empire of Japan is a friend of Huaxia. If there is a conflict, the government will stand on the side of foreign guests. Interpreter Sun hurries to show off. Lin Luoran glances at him lightly. Ordinary people can't see things in the dark, but Interpreter Sun shivers and feels cold on his back. He is wondering why it is so cold in the mountain tonight. Suddenly, a beam of light shines. Interpreter Sun can't help but block the dazzling light with the back of his hand. In the dim light, he sees a woman who looks like a wild elf and the neat back heads of 5 Nihanese. At the moment, he has no time to think about why the distinguished Nihanese guests are like this. The dim light comes from the woman's fingertips. How can human fingers not be afraid of fire? Interpreter Sun, an elite who has studied in Nihanese for many years, is confused at this moment. He suddenly thinks of a possibility and can't help trembling slightly. Shio, cultivator. Lin Luoran smiles. Miss Sakurako, how much are you willing to pay for this tea tree? Sakurako Asada is anxious. Master Lin, Sakurako, I don't dare. It's a misunderstanding. She regrets that she didn't learn the Huaxia language better. Now her explanation seems weak. Lin Luoran doesn't say yes or no. She takes 2 steps and looks at Huang Weijian, who is full of anger. Why don't you dig the tea tree? Huang Weijian's anger seems to be blown away by the wind. Lin Luoran's voice has a kind of soothing power. He suddenly finds that he is not angry anymore. Hey, come and help. Lin Luodong runs over and starts to dig the wild tea tree with Huang Weijian. Lin Luoran comes back again. What are you doing in Huaxia? Have you reported to Minister Chen? These people are not good at the Huaxia language. The interpreter, who is so scared that he almost pees his pants, comes in handy. From his poor translation, Lin Luoran knows that this group of people say they are traveling, but they actually come to the Sea of Bamboo in the south of Chuan to find some mountain treasures. This beautiful wild tea tree is a potential target. The wild vegetables of Huaxia were very popular in Japan. The people of Japan were small and had a lot of people, but they loved things like tea ceremony. This reason could be justified on other occasions, but how many cultivators were needed to dig up the mountain delicacies? Lin Luoran stares at them for a while. That's good. I don't like people playing tricks on the land of the Huaxia, and I don't want any spirit things to be smuggled out of the Huaxia. Do you understand? Have a good time. Interpreter Sun stutters and translates. They all say, hi. The 2 teenagers dig up the wild tea tree and Lin Luoran puts it into her space. Such a big tea tree makes Interpreter Sun sweat. She doesn't look at them again and takes the 2 teenagers in the opposite direction. After a long time, Sakurako Asada raises her stiff neck. The other 4 neon people also raise their heads carefully. Interpreter Sun slips down powerlessly. His trousers are wet. The neon people feel ashamed of Interpreter's son and are ready to get rid of him quietly. Sakurako Asada gives a warning look, although she doesn't like it. She doesn't like outsiders to intervene. It is said that this cultivator in the level of laying foundation is very protective of her compatriots. It is very unwise to get rid of Interpreter Sunday. Hi. Is it Lin Jun? Yes. We have to be more careful. Chapter 310. The two teenagers follow Lin Luoran and take a detour back to the pond. They are both a little unhappy. Sister, those people are sneaky. I know they are not good people. Seeing Lin Luoran goes back to the camp to boil water and drink tea, Luodong says hurriedly. In a hurry, Lin Luoran has to dry the wild tea with fire wacken, which saves a lot of steps. A cup of tea is made. It is a little bitter, but the aftertaste is very sweet, with its own spirituality. You have good taste. Lin Luoran holds up the teacup and praises. The two teenagers' fight at night is worth it. Seeing that his sister changes the topic, Luodong is so anxious that he wants to jump. However, Huang finds that Goldie hasn't come back. Is it? He is not sure. Lin Luoran nods. I can't rest assured if I don't figure out why these Japanese people come to the Sea of Bamboo in the south of Chuan. In addition to Goldie, she actually attaches a trace of spiritual mind to Sakurako Asada. With Goldie monitoring in the air and the spiritual mind as a guide, Lin Luoran can ensure that nothing goes wrong. Luodong is very excited because he hasn't cultivated yet and has never gone on an adventure with his sister. This summer, he can foresee that it must be a special and unforgettable summer camp. Huang Weijian nods, so now we. Lin Luoran laughs, of course we sleep now. You're just a kid in your teens. If you don't rest well, you won't be able to grow taller. She is also 1.7 meters tall. The two teenagers can't compete with her height at this time. They are speechless and obediently run to the tent to sleep. Lin Luoran takes the cyan little fox to another tent. You too. You can't grow up without sleep. The cyan little fox shows its teeth. Lin Luoran is not moved. She holds the little fox and meditates by the pond. The bamboo forest is full of wood reiki. The cyan little fox also gets a lot of wood reiki because of the bead. It obediently lies on Lin Luoran's feet, forgetting that Lin Luoran said it can't grow up. Lin Luoran is awakened by the birds in the morning. The two excited teenagers had a very restless sleep last night. When Lin Luoran opens her eyes, they have even packed up their tents and are just waiting to set off. It seems you are not in the mood to make breakfast, right? Here. She handed a few fresh wild tea leaves to the two teenagers and took the lead to demonstrate. She put a few more leaves into her mouth and chewed. Luodong always trusts his sister the most. He imitates her and chews the tea. Huang hesitates for a second. When Lin spits out the tea, he realizes that it is for freshening breath. This elder sister of the Lin family was very strange. It was as if she knew everything about the grass and trees in the mountains. It was as if she really belonged to the forest. After spitting out the tea leaves, the refreshing taste in his mouth was indeed different from that of toothpaste. It belonged to a different kind of feeling. 3 people and 1 fox set off, eating some fruits to fill their stomachs. They walked all the way deep into the mountains. The waterfall splashed many drops of water on the bamboo leaves. A new day had just begun. Several Nihanese rush away at night. After a night of walking, they are cultivators, but Interpreter's son is immortal. He stumbles in the dense forest, which slows down the team. A Nihanese man wants to abandon him several times, but Sakurako Asada makes the decision to keep him. In the morning, when Interpreter's son is reluctant to walk with a pair of red eyes, they finally see the smoke in the depths of the forest. There is smoke, there is someone. Sakurako Asada takes out the map and compares it. She is happy. Mr. Sun, hold on. Interpreter's son is so sleepy that his upper and lower eyelids are fighting. He can't understand why these Nihanese guests don't want to stay in the city. Why do they come to such a desolate place? He was scared by the cultivators last night and then ran all night. He is so embarrassed. Sakurako Asada whispers in Interpreter Sun's ear for a while, and Interpreter Sun becomes more energetic. The soft, please, satisfies Interpreter Sun's manly feelings. He feels that Miss Sakurako is so weak that people feel pity for her. He has to cheer up and lead the way. They go over another mountain. There are some sparse thatched roofs in the mountain stream. Interpreter Sun takes the lead and leads several Nihanese down the hill to the village. Goldie stares at these people coldly in the clouds and quietly falls on a big locust tree at the entrance of the village. A small sparrow is shocked by the majesty of a high-level bird and falls to the ground in a daze. It is picked up by several children who are playing. They laugh and say they are going to roast the sparrow to eat. Interpreter Sun goes all the way into the village. There are few outsiders in this isolated village. The dogs in the village smell the smell of strangers and bark together, like a chorus. An old man wearing a pair of straw shoes walks here with a bowl of noodles. His turbid eyes find they are all young people he doesn't know, but he still greets them warmly. Where do you come from? Did you get lost in the mountains? This village is extremely remote, hidden in the deep mountains. There is no electricity today. Ordinary people can't find this place if they are not lost. Sakurako Asada understands Chinese perfectly, but the old man's accent is too heavy. She only hears, lost, or something like that. She is overjoyed. This excuse is very suitable for them. However, Interpreter Sun doesn't dare to vent to the Nihanese guests after a night of hard work. He is superior to his compatriots. At this time, he doesn't see Sakurako Asada's eyes at all. He takes out a few old people's heads and says, "Old man, make us breakfast and clean up 2 rooms, and the money is yours." The old man is deaf and doesn't hear what Interpreter Sun says. "You want to give me the money?" That's so embarrassing. "Young man, I don't want your money. Go away." Many people open the door and laugh when they hear the old man's words. This outsider speaks in a superior way, which makes people uncomfortable. It's good to tease them. Sakurako Asada coughs softly. Interpreter Sun adds a few more pieces of money and repeats his words. It's about 1,000 yuan. In such a barren place, some people can't see so much cash even after digging on the slope for a year. They don't use electricity, but necessities such as salt are always needed. 1,000 yuan is not enough for an ordinary working family's monthly living expenses in a city where prices are soaring. How much is salt? It's 1.5 yuan and 50 cents plus iodine. If it's replaced with salt, it can make a family die of saltiness. The old man took the money and really brought them to the courtyard of his house. Interpreter Sun is proud. Sakurako Asada seems to love the pottery jars hanging on the wall and yard everywhere in the village. She whispers with several men there. Interpreter Sun doesn't know what's in the pottery jars. He squeezes in and is ready to talk about it temporarily. Sakurako Asada and others stop the topic. The old man comes out with egg noodles. Hearing the crooked Nihanese accent, the old man is stunned. He is going to spit in the egg noodles, but he can't bear to spoil the food. He turns a corner and goes out from the back to call those naughty children to eat noodles. Several children are tempted by the egg fragrance. This morning, the children in the village have 2 meals. They are very happy with their bellies full. The old man returns to the kitchen and cooks last night's leftovers into porridge. He throws rotten sweet potatoes, which are specially picked out to feed pigs, into the stove to roast. After half an hour, the breakfast of porridge and roasted sweet potatoes is served. An old clay jar contains a jar of porridge, and the roasted sweet potatoes are placed in a pottery jar with a hole in it. Interpreter Sun is the first to fall down in anger. He pays 1,000 yuan for seafood steamed dumplings, but the old man sends him away with rotten sweet potatoes. It's too much. He is about to get angry, but Sakurako Asada and others are eating very happily. Porridge and sweet potatoes are all natural things, in line with the way of health pursued by Nihanese people. Seeing Sakurako Asada drinking porridge, the old man snorts in his heart, but he changes his mind about these Nihanese. Of course, he is still vigilant. Interpreter's son, who is labeled as a traitor, has just begun his ordeal in the small mountain village. While Interpreter's son is still struggling with the dark toilet in the village, Lin Luoran, with 2 teenagers and a cyan little fox, lands on the top of the hill slowly. She rides on the sword, and Sakurako Asada and others walk. It's only a matter of time before they catch up with them. She has reached the middle stage of laying foundation, and her spiritual mind is no more than 10 miles. These Nihanese' personal ability is too low to find them at this distance. Feeling Goldie, Lin Luoran comforts it and asks it to continue to monitor. However, this small mountain village is so difficult to find, and there is only a narrow path connecting it with the outside world. What are Sakurako Asada and others doing here? Lin Luodong is excited. He takes out a military telescope from his luggage and hands it to Huang Weijian. Chapter 311. Lin Luoran asks Lin Luodong and Huang Weijian to set up camp in a hidden place. Lin Luodong is so excited that he says, "Yes, sir." He really looks like a spy in the military camp. Huang Weijian deeply despises him, but in fact, he also has an unconcealable excitement in his bones. They don't know the purpose of Sakurako and others, so they may have to stay on this hidden hillside for a few days. Lin Luodong's SLR camera is broken. As a cultivator in the level of laying foundation, Lin Luoran is not good at these electronic products. He can't take pictures, so he has to devote all his energy to monitoring. However, remote monitoring is a bad idea after all. How can he find a breakthrough? Lin Luoran sighs again that her personal ability is not enough. As long as she reaches the level of bearing essence, she can use the secret methods such as mind manipulating to directly invade people's spiritual mind and interrogate them. Or she can change her appearance with an illusion spell and sneak into the village. Now, in order not to alert the enemy, she can only wait outside. Once she uses the breath-holding spell, she will be doomed. The mini-world is simply soundproof, blocking shadows but not breaths. It is used to guard against secular people. She has to work harder to cultivate and bear essence as soon as possible. Because they are still lurking, Lin Luodong strongly requests that they can't cook with firewood. The smoke will expose their whereabouts. Lin Luoran has to perform the unique skill of frying eggs with the fireball spell. Huang Weijian thinks the eggs are so luxurious and a waste of wakan. The cyan little fox shows respect to Lin Luoran and claps its claws red. Lin Luoran feels that the cunning little fox's IQ has been plummeting recently. Maybe it is because the food and drinks in Lin's house is so good that it doesn't need to seek survival as it does in the underground world. The bad master is thinking about how to train it. Lin Luodong has already spread jam on the bread. He puts eggs and ham in it and eats it with a box of milk. He likes marmalade best, Huang Weijian likes tomatoes, and the cyan little fox has a special preference for strawberry jam. Lin Luoran is not picky about food. There are all kinds of fruits and vegetables in her space. It is a waste to keep them if she doesn't make jam. The taste of food is like life, bitter, spicy, sour and sweet. It is always wrong to lack some. Therefore, she would like to taste all kinds of tastes and experience more together. Well, try celery jam today. The slight numbness of the raw celery, coupled with the salty and fresh ham, and the soft bread, had many layers of taste. The 3 people and the fox were all very satisfied with this meal. This is a hearty breakfast. The cyan little fox rolls around on the thick grass with its round belly. At the same time, Interpreter's son is leading Sakurako Asada and others to fight with leftover porridge and rotten sweet potatoes. The smoke from the kitchen gradually died down. After breakfast, the laborers in the small mountain village started to move. The naughty children who had been wandering around the village for the whole morning were also assigned tasks. One of them, who was about 11 or 12 years old, not only carried a basket on his back, but he also led a goat towards the direction where the three of them were hiding. The three of them hold their breath as the figure of the child becomes clearer and clearer. Their chance seemed to have arrived. However, if she wanted to get close to him now, she wouldn't act like a strange auntie trying to kidnap a little Shota. This was a problem. The little boy had been playing all morning. He was like a mud monkey with smart eyes. He should be smart. There were good and bad things about this. Smart children were easy to help, but they were not easy to fool. He tied the goat under a tree and ignored the bleeding sheep. He carried the basket on his back and went to the place with lush grass to cut the grass. The bamboo basket was half as high as his body. The three of them were on the slope not far from his head, watching him quietly. Perhaps because he was too focused, he didn't notice them. After harvesting more than half of the basket, the little boy was probably tired. He looked around and found a jujube tree in the forest. He threw the sickle up and cut down many jujubes that were not yellow. He threw one into his mouth. His face was obviously sour, but his eyes were still filled with joy. During the break, the boys sat on the grass and ate snacks, one after another. The three of them were sad to see him like this, but he was eating happily. Lin Luoran felt it more. She was also familiar with jujubes. She didn't eat it when she was a child. Of course, it was delicious. But what era was it now? After more than 20 years, there were still children who regarded it as a treasure. It could only show how poor this small mountain village was. Besides, when she was a child, she also picked those yellow and soft jujubes that had fallen on the ground. She could barely eat them. These half-green ones. Lin Luoran looked at the little boy who was wearing shorts and short-sleeved shirt. She sighed secretly. When you were weak, you should be a good person. When you were prosperous, you should do good deeds. Is she prosperous now? How many good deeds have she done? It's time to put some things on the agenda. The boy ate the jujube and found a bunch of mushrooms. He threw away a few that had already bloomed and finished the rest of the pot. In order to find the mushrooms, he gradually walked a few steps away from the big goat tied to the tree. The goat found a place to eat grass. Suddenly, it started to bleat again and kept stepping back. However, it couldn't run away because it was tied to the tree by the rope. Lin Luoran took a closer look and found that the goat was also unlucky. A green bamboo leaf was lying where it was eating grass. It was disturbed and it was looking at the goat with its tongue out. The boy also discovered the green bamboo leaf. The mushrooms in his pocket fell to the ground. His little black face turned green. The goat was the most valuable thing in their family. The green bamboo leaf was very poisonous. Of course, the people who lived in the mountains knew about it. If it was bitten, the goat would not survive. The little boy hesitated for a while. There were no branches around. He took the sickle and walked 2 steps. The snake suddenly jumped at the goat's neck. The boy was so anxious that his eyes turned red. He couldn't fly. The goat must be bitten to death by the snake. Just when he was about to give up all hope, a puff sound was heard, a beam of green light was shot from the direction of the slope, it pinned the murderous green bamboo leaf firmly on the tree. A piece of bamboo? The boy was stunned and looked at the direction of the slope. 3 city people came down from the slope with a rare cyan fox in their arms. The extremely beautiful sister squatted down and said to him with a smile, "Little friend, are you from the village at the foot of the mountain?" The boy nodded stupidly. Because Lin Luoran happened to save the only property of Hong Bin's family, things went well beyond expectation. This mountain village was called Tao's village. It was not because of the surname Tao, but because the ancestors of the village had been making pottery. In the early years of the Republic of China, the National Defense War broke out and the middle of Chuan was in turmoil. The Tao's village moved to the deep mountain to avoid disaster. Because the place was too remote, even the government came to them more than 10 years ago and registered the residents of the deep mountain who were not in the previous census. The situation was very good for Lin Luoran. The people of Tao's village used to be bullied by the Japanese because of their craftsmanship. Because of the identity of Sakurako Asada, Hong Bin was very angry with them. So when he went down the mountain, Lin Luoran had one more spy. Correspondingly, because there were guests, there were many children playing in the house of old Mr. Tao. Hong Bin was among them, pretending to be curious and secretly passing the news. The next day, he drove the sheep again. Sister Lin, those Nihanese are so strange. They are very interested in the pottery jars in our village. Are they here to steal our skills? Lin Luoran rewarded him with a large piece of chocolate for his creative imagination. Sakurako Asada would cry if she heard this. She was a promising cultivator in Nihanese. How could she come to a small mountain village in the middle of Chuanhuaxia to steal? Ordinary Nihanese were possible. But it was too extravagant to send cultivators. The third day. Sister Lin, old Mr. Tao is stewing chicken today. It smells so good. What? You mean that Nihanese woman? She just walked around the village, and I asked my friends to follow her. She didn't do anything. Oh, no, she even gave me a candy. Lin Luoran was silent. Lin Luodong handed Hong Bin a roast chicken leg brushed with honey. The fourth day. Sister Lin, Miss Sakurako wants to buy dried mushrooms from old Mr. Tao's house. She also picked a pottery jar that she likes. Huang Weijian silently handed him a box of biscuits. The Nihanese woman has become Miss Sakurako. If they couldn't find any clues, their little spy would probably betray them. Pottery jars again. Is the secret in this pottery jars? Lin Luoran decides to see the pottery jars that Sakurako Asada cares about. She is still worried about the gourmet guide. After giving Hong Bin, who is too slippery to be a simple village kid, an old man's head, Lin Luoran sees the pottery jars that Sakurako Asada cares about in the afternoon. Several different styles of pottery are carried by Hong Bin in a basket covered with grass. According to him, they were borrowed from old Mr. Tao's house. These pottery are very good, but it is not enough for Sakurako Asada to spend so much time in Tao's village for so many days. Lin Luoran picks up a jar and turns it over. Well, a fox face is carved on the bottom of the jar, which is vivid. The others, either with fox body or fox claws, are all related to foxes. Lin Luoran hands a jar with a fox carving on it to the cyan little fox. I have never seen other foxes who can pick flowers. Chapter 312. Does a fox know how to pick flowers? Lin Luoran is not sure about other foxes, but the one she raises is just like a human being. In fact, it is even more particular than a human being. It needs to wash its hands before eating, use bowls and chopsticks when eating, and wash its face and feet before going to bed. Lin Luoran doesn't know whether it is because of the white fox's upbringing or because it has been spoiled since it came to Lin's house. One morning, when Lin Luoran gets up, she finds that the little fox has rolled up a big leaf and is collecting dew from the pistils. Lin Luoran thinks that the little fox is going to do something else. After careful observation, she finds that the little fox is using the dew it has collected for 2 hours to wash its face. Lin Luoran still remembers the deep shock she felt at that time. The heavens took pity on her. As a woman, whether it was in the past or now, she had always washed her face. Collecting nectar. It's convenient to use the water spell. However, Lin Luoran has never thought of such a way to wash her face for so many years. Do you know this fox? Lin Luoran asks tentatively. Little Hong Bin looked at her blankly. Why is this sister with the surname Lin talking to a fox? Can she understand? The cyan little fox rolls its eyes, which subverts Hong Bin's understanding of foxes. This woman is really stupid. No fox in the world is as special as the little fox. They all look the same. The little fox knows that flower. Is there anyone else who can draw this kind of flower now? How many years has it been? The little fox is sure that it is not its memory. The hillside is so green that it can't see any other colors. Every June, the colorful flower buds bloom at night. The flowers bloom for one day and wither when the sun goes down. Ordinary people have never seen such a strange flower. It is more and more ridiculous. It is said that if you pick a flower, you can make a wish. It is really ridiculous. There is no such treasure in the world that can make wishes come true. However, those stupid people really believe it. Every year, people come to steal the flower. Later, the little fox gets annoyed and drives out all the ordinary people living in its territory. The cyan little fox suddenly understands. Except for those ordinary people who have never become smart, no one has ever seen this flower. It's so strange. Is there sand in my eyes? The cyan little fox wipes it with its claws, and the water comes out automatically. It can't stop. It is still desperately wiping it. However, in the eyes of the three of them, it is holding the jar and crying. Lin Luodong and Huang Weijian look at the cyan little fox again and again. Although the cyan little fox often steals things from others, everyone knows its temper and no one in the Lin family hates it. This is the first time that they see the rude little fox crying. What on earth is it crying for? Lin remembers that Professor Chi once said that in the land of green mountains in the classic of mountains and seas, the king of the fox race is cyan. Is it homesick because of the green color? Not long ago, she traveled through time and space. This world is not as simple as it seems. In Lin's opinion, there must be a reason why many myths are based on the classic of mountains and seas. Maybe this is a travel book similar to the Chronicle of the Nine Provinces. However, the latter was a core formation cultivator, while the former happened to record that lost period of history. If there is really a land of green mountains, where is it? There is a trace of pity in Lin's eyes. It is so small and has been living with the white fox in the underground world. Can it find its way home? Tao's village has been making pottery for generations. During the National Defense War, they moved to the mountains to avoid disaster. There is also clay here. Of course, the pottery skills have not been lost. There is no income in the mountains. In recent years, the villagers have to send the children of the village to study outside the mountains. Everyone in the village knew that old Mr. Hong was alone, but his pottery craftsmanship was the best in the village. He was kind-hearted. As an old man, he didn't have much to spend. Most of the money he earned from making pottery and buying mountain goods were given to the poor families whose children were studying outside the village. Because of this alone, old Mr. Hong's status in the village was not low. Not to mention that he was old and shrewd, with incomparable wisdom. Many people would ask him to make decisions when they encountered problems. His prestige in the village was extremely high. However, Old Hong has also encountered trouble these days, which is a group of Nihanese living in his house. Sakura was also fond of pottery. Every time she looked at old Mr. Hong with admiration, he felt guilty. Of course, it is not because his skills are not up to standard, but he is worried that this group of Nihanese have other plans. Old Hong is not muddle-headed, and he is very shrewd. The pottery skills have been passed down from generation to generation. It is also because of the things of their ancestors that Tao's village values them. Nowadays, the outside world is changing with each passing day. Those exquisite porcelains have low cost and large output. Who doesn't like them? Since they don't covet the ancestral skills of Tao's village, what can make these Nihanese stay here for so many days? Old Hong pretends to be deaf and dumb while plucking the chicken. Interpreter's son on the side is so angry that his mouth is crooked. He has said a lot, but this old man's ears are very bad. It is not easy for him to hear one sentence out of 10 accurately. Old Mr. Hong, don't you really think about it? Your village is blessed by nature. There are countless treasures in the mountain. Whether bamboo shoots or bamboo fungus, they are rare delicacies. Those wild vegetables are also very tasty. People of the Yamato nationality like them very much. If you want to match them with pottery and export them to Nihanese, you will definitely get a good price. Sakura also knows many Nihanese businessmen. She can make a connection with them to repay old Mr. Hong's hospitality these days. The hot summer sun is blocked by a clump of bamboo in the garden. Sakura Asada stands in the light and shadow, speaking softly with unspeakable sincerity. Coming out of her mouth, the gibberish of Nihanese is not so annoying. Old Mr. Hong's hands start to fall, and a chicken is stripped naked in a short time. Interpreter Sun translates Sakura Asada's words into Huaxia language. Old Hong's sparse eyebrows jump. Selling mountain delicacies? Their village is deep in the mountains. If they want to make money by exporting mountain delicacies, they can't make money by selling mountain delicacies for 10 years. Businessmen don't get up early without profit. It can be seen that this Nihanese woman is coaxing him. Old Mr. Hong smiled and showed his gums with few teeth. It's not hospitality. All the chickens in my house have been killed, and this one is borrowed from others. Miss Sakurako, you like to eat the dishes cooked by the old man these days. You can take as many as you want to the clay pots in the garden. You can take as many as you want. Take as many as you want. Warm hospitality. Miss Sakura is too polite to this old man. Since they came to Tao's village, they have eaten chicken every day. It is a good meal in the mountains. Especially at noon on the first day, a pot of stewed chicken with mushrooms is served. It is so delicious that Interpreter's son almost swallows his tongue. But they eat chicken again the next day, and the cooking method is the same. Interpreter's son feels that the chicken soup is a little tired. They eat it for several days. Chicken is hot. On this hot day, Interpreter's son has a row of red pimples on his forehead, and the tip of his tongue is blistered. He can't speak clearly. He can't fall asleep at night. Every time he opens and closes his eyes, he sees Miss Sakura's smiling face. Interpreter's son is so excited to eat chicken. Sakura Asada hears that old Hong finally turns the topic to the pots. She pretends to be innocent and says, Mr. Hong's pots are very good, especially this one. She goes back to the room and takes out the pots containing dried mushrooms. The whole pot is simple and elegant. A fox is standing on the hillside, with only a back view. The mountain flowers are in full bloom, and the fluff on the fox's ears is distinct, which is really lifelike. It is indeed a very exquisite pottery by pure handwork. With fox as the theme, it is also old Hong's exclusive craftsmanship. He is also a little proud of it. However, Miss Sakura's fingertips slide, pointing to the inconspicuous flower and asking, what is this flower called? This pot is dyed-colored pottery. The flower's brushwork is simple and looks very ordinary. But old Hong is very careful in dyeing it. This piece of mountain flowers is exquisite. Each flower has 7 petals, and each petal has a different color. When put together, it is as dazzling as a rainbow. It actually steals the limelight of the fox as the protagonist. Interpreter's son doesn't care and translates as usual. Old Hong's hand holding the chicken pauses and shows his teeth in embarrassment. I'm old and can't hold the chicken firmly. Sakura Asada hears that he wants to change the topic again. She takes a step forward with the pot. Mr. Hong, I lived in the Shandong area of Huaxia when I was a child. I heard a legend about the country of green mountains. I don't know if you have heard it. Interpreter's son is about to translate, but suddenly he is stunned. Miss Sakura speaks Huaxia language. Old Hong's hands tremble slightly, and his old eyes are cloudy. Miss Sakura, did I hear it wrong? Why do you speak Huaxia language? Sakura Asada smiles slightly. She is gentle and amiable under the shadow of the bamboo. Mr. Hong, I can also speak Shandong language. Tao's village has moved from Shandong for many years. I haven't heard the local accent for a long time. Do you miss it? Old Hong's cloudy old eyes look more confused. In fact, he is shocked. Tao's village has moved twice. The first time was at the end of the Ming dynasty, from Shandong to Chuan. The second time was moved to the deep mountains to hide. Is this the purpose of the Nihanese? Chapter 313. Gentle and pleasant Miss Sakurako Asada doesn't turn hostile. Once she turns hostile, Interpreter's son is the first one to suffer. In fact, she doesn't need an interpreter at all. This interpreter is just used to deceive people and get close to the people of Tao's village. Now he has been used up. Sakurako Asada first remembers his ugly look when he was scared to pee his pants that night, and his evasive eyes when he looks at her these days. In other words, Sakurako Asada cares more about the fact that she is suppressed by Lin Luoran. In the beginning, they also went to the secret land together. At that time, Lin Luoran was already not to be underestimated. She had the highest personal ability among the young cultivators in Huaxia. Although she made people jealous, they didn't go crazy. Because at that time, Lin Luoran was admired but not feared. However, in just a few years, she has got rid of the title of the first among the younger generation in Huaxia, not because her personal ability has declined, but because she has entered a higher level with her own strength. Women in Nihanese have always had a low status. Sakurako Asada was born in a concubine's branch of a big family. Her mother was a famous geisha in Tokyo. She was born with a mortal body, but she dared to be pregnant with the blood of the Asada family secretly. The head of the family knew it and sent her to Shandong of Huaxia. If she hadn't been found to be able to cultivate when she was a few years old, she and her daughter would not have been taken back to the Nihanese family after being exiled. Even so, she was bullied a lot in the Nihanese family. Sakurako Asada wakes up from the memory. She feels sorry for herself. She will never get the sympathy of others. She can only become stronger. For example, Lin Luoran in Huaxia also started from a poor family. Now she has also become an important female cultivator in the cultivation world of Huaxia. For example, if she can get the treasure of the Green Mountains and return to Nihanese and the Asada family, who will dare to look down on her again? Sakurako Asada smiles at old Mr. Hong. She is full of charm, very much like her mother when she was a geisha in the past. Old Mr. Hong can no longer hold the chicken firmly and it falls to the ground. He is in his 70s and 80s. Of course, he can't be tempted by beauty. But Sakurako Asada's smile is really scary in this summer. Mr. Hong, let's sit down. Can you slowly tell Sakurako the story about this jar? Sakurako Asada smiles and holds old Mr. Hong, who is obviously unsteady. The scorching sun couldn't warm up old Master Hong's sinking heart. Will these Nihanese do something to the people of Tao's village? Mr. Hong couldn't think about it. Sakurako Asada holds the painted pottery jar in her hand and forcibly helps old Mr. Hong to walk to the back room. The vivid fox figure flashes with blue light at the moment of alternating light and darkness. This was an extremely unique type of paint. The painted fox looked normal, but under special lighting, it would appear green. Sakurako Asada found it now. Looking at the back of the cyan fox, she was more and more sure that this Tao's village was moved from the Green Mountains in ancient times. If you wanted to find the country of Green Mountains that had been lost in time, in this world, perhaps only the old people of Green Mountains who had lived for countless generations knew the entrance. Hong Bin had nothing to do, so he began to eavesdrop again. After a few days, he had felt that Miss Sakurako of Nihanese was kind and gentle. She often gave candies to her friends in the village. She should not be as bad as the three people on the hillside said. He felt guilty. He took Lin Luoran's 100 yuan and was ready to quit. Today would be the last day of work. Hong Bin thought silently. He dug out a piece of debris on the mud wall and saw old Mr. Hong's house next door. Hearing the Shandong accent, 11-year-old Hong Bin was a little clever, but he didn't quite understand what these genteel words meant. He was surprised that Miss Sakurako could speak Huaxia language. Putting his eyes in the hole, Hong Bin held his breath and looked at the yard of old Mr. Hong's house. 3 Nihanese men stood at the door with a serious face, as if guarding against someone coming in. Old Mr. Hong's plucked chicken fell to the ground. What a pity! Hong Bin swallowed. He saw Miss Sakurako patted interpreter's son and he fell down. Hongbin originally thought that this interpreter surnamed Sun was just an embroidered pillow. After a while, Miss Sakurako helped old Mr. Hong to walk to the back room. Before interpreter's son got up, Hongbin felt something was wrong. He moved his eyes and saw interpreter's son lying on the ground with thick black liquid on the side of his mouth. These Nihanese were really bad people. What should he do? Hongbin was sweating. It took him a while to remember that he should go to the hillside to report. The picture of Lin Luoran nailing green bamboo leaf to the tree with a bamboo branch flashed in his mind. Maybe only the 3 people on the hillside and Sister Lin could save old Mr. Hong. Hongbin stumbled to the entrance of the village and found one of the Nihanese men standing under the locust tree. Damn, there is an ambush. Kid, where are you going? He said stiff Huaxia language. Hongbin's hands were full of sweat, to mow the grass. The Nihanese man looked serious, go back, or die. Why did he go to mow the grass with empty hands? Did this Huaxia kid find something wrong and want to run away? Although Kazuo Yamamoto was not worried about the ability of a kid, he felt a little guilty when he thought that this was the land of Huaxia. Hongbin had to go back helplessly. Kazuo Yamamoto narrowed his eyes. It seemed that Miss Sakurako must have succeeded. He didn't notice that on the branch above his head, a golden hawk in the size of an eagle flew into the sky silently and flew to the hillside a few miles away. They are coveting the Green Mountains. Lin Luoran stared at the little fox with a complicated look. It was holding the jar in its hands and thinking about something. Goldie's intelligence was only like that of a few years old. However, after staying in the secular world for a long time, it could understand the meaning of some simple words even if it was not connected with Lin Luoran's spiritual mind. For example, Green Mountains. When it and Cyan Little Fox were caught by that man, he mentioned Green Mountains in front of Cyan Little Fox all day long. The fox remembered this word because every time it was mentioned, the unforgiving little fox would pretend to be stupid and bite and pull the man. As they were both beasts, Goldie and Cyan Little Fox had no problem communicating. Hey, why are you crying? The Cyan Little Fox held the jar and ignored it. Goldie persevered, they always talk about Green Mountains. Where is that? The Cyan Little Fox still ignored it. Goldie couldn't help but use its beak to gently peck the fox's paw. This was supposed to be a kind gesture from the proud Goldie. The Cyan Little Fox loosened its paw and the jar in its hand naturally fell down. Crack, it broke into pieces. The Cyan Little Fox glared at Goldie. Goldie knew that it was in trouble and didn't know what to say. It was not as cold and arrogant as before, and its little crown was a little timid. Green Mountains, these people never give up looking for Green Mountains. It rubbed its eyes and ran down the mountain. Lin Luodong and Huang Weijian wanted to follow but were stopped by Lin Luoran. It doesn't matter. Let it vent its anger. The little fox is very fast. Those Nihanese can't catch it anyway. Was Sakurako Asada the only one who coveted the Green Mountains, or was she just sent by Neon to be the vanguard? Lin Luoran hesitated. If she showed up at this time, would she alert the enemy and fail to completely destroy Neon's action? Then again, that night, those Nihanese didn't seem to see the Cyan Little Fox hiding behind the tree. Chapter 314. A touch of cyan under the scorching sun suddenly passes through people's retinas. At that time, old Hong is shivering, trying to make a delicate balance between telling the secret and saving the lives of people in Tao's village. Then he sees the Cyan Little Fox on the wall. The fox is Cyan, and it is the king with 9 tails. Old Hong, who is in his 70s or 80s, doesn't know his memory is so good. This is what an old man in Tao's village told him when he was a child. Having painted foxes all his life, old Hong knows the special pigments very well. But he never thought that he would see a cyan fox in his lifetime. He used to wonder if there is really a king with cyan fox in this world. Old Hong's hands tremble. Sakurako Asada follows his eyes. A little cyan fox stands on the mud wall of old Hong's house. The sky is blue and high above its head. Behind it is the distant green mountain. It is so green, from far to near, very much like the ink painting of Huaxia that Nihanese are very fond of. But these colors are not as clear as cyan. The sun shines around it. This cyan is so clear and pure. Its fur is like good silk and it can communicate directly with people through its eyes. Sakurako Asada breathes hard. She has never seen such a beautiful fox. It also matches the legendary king of Green Mountains. Is it really a coincidence that it appears in Tao's village? The cyan little fox nods slightly, looking indifferent. At this moment, the little fox is not as pitiful as it was in the underground world, nor is it as naughty and lovely domineering as it was in Lin's family. It looks cold and noble. In its eyes, a human like Sakurako Asada is just like a grass on the ground or a piece of mud under its feet. It won't trample on it, but it will never look at it. The appearance of the fox is so weird. 3 Nihanese men who stay in the yard pull out their katanas. Leave. Sakurako Asada suppresses the joy in her heart. Mr. Hong, it seems that you are not needed anymore. Sakurako Asada bows to him. This is the cyan fox, which is drawn out by the old man of Huaxia who deliberately pretends to be stupid. You are not needed anymore. She says it very politely. In fact, she wants to kill the cyan fox. She will not need the stubborn old man anymore. At this moment, the cyan fox suddenly sneers and jumps off the wall. Sakurako Asada pauses. Chase. These villagers. One of the men is careful. The priorities of the matter flash in Sakurako Asada's mind. These villagers can't be killed. So many people died in a village. The government of Huaxia must pay attention to it. She also met the first female cultivator of Huaxia in the Sea of Bamboo. If the world of personal ability of Huaxia is determined to investigate, her looking for the Green Mountains will be exposed, and the news will be leaked to the Asada family. Business is more important. Forget about these people. Sakurako Asada took the lead to jump out of the wall, and the 3 men caught up. The 4 of them were loyal to Sakurako Asada over the years. To be honest, they had never seen her let people go like this. Of course, her men don't know that Sakurako Asada remembers Lin Luoran's warning. Kazuo Yamamoto at the entrance of the village also follows. They chase the cyan little fox together. The people of Tao's village have just woken up from their afternoon nap. After the few hours when the sun is at its hottest, some people open their doors and start to work from time to time. They make pottery, weave bamboo strips, go into the mountains to look for mountain delicacies, go up the slope to mow grass, and herd sheep and cattle. They are busy and quiet. These mountain people still don't know that they have broken away from a great disaster of life and death. Poverty makes their clothes ragged and their skin dark. However, many people's eyebrows are quiet and peaceful without the intrigue in the city. For old Mr. Hong, they almost died. They suddenly remember that there is a dead body in the front yard. Murder, no matter in which dynasty, is a felony. Old Mr. Hong struggles to get up and sees little Hong Bin next door already standing in the yard. Although he is young, he is not as flustered as ordinary children. Grandpa, what should I do? Hong Bin kicks interpreter's son, but there is no response. Old Mr. Hong pulls him. Don't kick him. He is dead. Did you see it? Hong Bin is a little embarrassed, and he nods with a pale face. Old Mr. Hong thinks he is afraid. In fact, Hong Bin regrets that he covets candy and money. If he is not a spy, he will not encounter this. There is a dead man in the yard. One is an old man, and the other is a child. What should they do? Go to the mountain to find the police? After 2 years of school, Hong Bin knows to find the police. Old Mr. Hong shakes his head and tells the police that some Nihanese come to Tao's village to ask about the whereabouts of Green Mountains. Although this was the truth, would the police believe such a mythical thing? Tao's village is not informed. At this time, even cultivators are no longer a secret in the outside world. Ordinary people also believe in the various myths of Huaxia for many years. When the old man and the child are thinking about their own strategy, the door of the small yard is gently pushed open. Is this the home of old Mr. Hong? A teenager of 15 or 16 years old asks politely. Carrying a big mountaineering bag, he is a teenager in the city. Hong Bin certainly knows him. Why are you here? We didn't kill this man. Luodong nods. Of course we are here to deal with this matter. Huang Weijian squeezes in with an expression that keeps strangers away, so talkative. Old Mr. Hong looks at the two uninvited teenagers in the city. His eyes are obscure and fall on Lin Luoran, who comes in later. What a beautiful little girl. She is more beautiful than the young ladies of the old rich families. However, there is a golden eagle squatting on her shoulder. Although it is majestic, it is inevitable that she is not a fish or a clam. Old Hong. I think we have to talk about the Green Mountains. The afternoon wind blows the bamboo leaves slightly. The rustling sound intertwines with Lin Luoran's voice. It is difficult to distinguish one from the other, but surprisingly, it can calm people down from such a thing as a murder case. Old Mr. Hong doesn't speak. Hong Bin whispers, the cyan fox just now was raised by her. Old Mr. Hong finally can't keep a straight face. Lin Luoran smiles at the old man and points at Goldie on her shoulder. She whispers, you go with the fox. If they are a threat to the fox, don't wait for me. Can you give them to you as snacks? Otherwise, don't show up. Goldie tilts its head and calls twice. Lin Luoran is embarrassed. Where do you think the fox is? I don't know. Be a good boy and follow it. Goldie has been a spy for a few days and hasn't even eaten. Lin Luoran takes out a handful of elixirs. Goldie pecks them and flies away. Old Mr. Hong stares at Goldie. In the blink of an eye, it becomes a small black spot and disappears in the sky. He has lived for 70 or 80 years. He has never seen such a psychic eagle. No, it is not an eagle. Lin Luoran glances at Interpreter's son on the ground. Her face is black. There is no possibility of survival. He is poisoned. She thinks Sakurako Asada will be different. It turns out that she is no different from some island people. She is stingy and uses poison as a cultivator. She is not upright at all. Such a person has a strong heart, but her state of mind is always at the lower level. To be a bad person, there is a hierarchy. Even if she doesn't take the right path, she should learn from the boss. Lin Luodong is quite bold and wants to check the body of Interpreter Sunday. Lin Luoran covers his eyes. Children can't care about these things. Huang Weijian is complacent. Isn't he a child in the eyes of Sister Lin? However, Lin Luoran drives him and Lin Luodong out together with Hong Bin. She asks the three of them to check whether the Nihanese have done some wicked things by poisoning the water in the village these days. Old Mr. Hong still doesn't say a word. Lin Luoran thinks for a moment, let's solve this body first so that we can talk more easily. Solve a body in the daytime. Is the tone of a little girl nowadays so arrogant? Lin Luoran's fingertips burst into flames. The orange-sized fire falls on the body of Interpreter's son and spreads to the whole body. It is not a raging fire. But seeing the body shrink and turn into ashes in just a few minutes, old Mr. Hong knows that the flame is definitely not as ordinary as it looks. As for why people's fingertips burst into flames, old Mr. Hong also thinks about it for a while. He seems not to be surprised subconsciously. Lin Luoran changes her gesture, and a small tornado rolls up. The ashes on the ground are rolled up by the wind and fly to the depths of the mountain. Old Mr. Hong shows his lonely front teeth. That's cyan. Is it yours? He originally wants to say cyan fox, but he feels that this title is not respectful, so he says it vaguely. Lin Luoran claps her hands. It may be strange to say that. If I say that it is a white fox entrusted to me to take care of, will old Mr. Hong believe it? Old Mr. Hong looks relaxed. It is true. The royal family is aloof. How can they recognize a little girl as their master? Have you ever heard of a kind of flower that blooms in the morning and fades at dusk, and can realize the wishes of mortals? Old Mr. Hong smiles mysteriously. Lin Luoran looks at the colored pot that Sakurako Asada forgot to take away. It is a pity that dried mushrooms are scattered all over the ground. She picks up the pot and is amazed by the lifelike painting, especially the figure of the cyan fox, which lets her foresee what the little fox will look like when it grows up. Are you talking about this flower? The colorful flowers were indeed beautiful. However, a single flower could fulfill a person's wish. Cultivators like them who cultivated so hard and still couldn't do as they pleased, wouldn't that make them a joke? Her face is full of disbelief. Old Mr. Hong nods, but some people, including my ancestors, they just believe it. Don't you think it is strange? Lin Luoran moves a stool for old Mr. Hong to sit down and finds another place. They chat in the yard in the sun. Old Mr. Hong slowly tells the story that has been passed down for many generations. Lin Luoran listens carefully and shakes or nods from time to time. Old Mr. Hong feels that the little girl's eyes are deep and clear. She is smart but not bad, which makes people feel reliable. Her heart is peaceful, and many hazy memories come back. Chapter 315. The classic of mountains and seas says, the country of the green mountains is full of jade in its yang and green crabs in its een. There are beasts that look like foxes with 9 tails and sound like babies. They can eat people, but they don't eat poisonous insects. There are birds that look like doves and sound like birds. They are called guanguan, and they are not confused. Yingshui comes out and the South Sea pours into the swamp. There are many red crabs among them. They look like fish but have human faces and sound like ducks. They are not disgusting. This may be the earliest record about the country of the Green Mountains. When Lin Luoran was studying with Professor Qi in Chuan University, she read many mythological documents in order to find clues of the soul wood. She remembers that the country of the Green Mountains is north of Chaoyang Valley and south of Heya country. Of course, these two are also the names of places in the classic of mountains and seas. Some scholars also say that the country of the Green Mountains is in the area of Shandong today. Lin Luoran didn't believe these experts at first. However, after entering the territory of Shandong today, Goldie's speed drops sharply. Lin Luoran has to believe that the experts can occasionally get it right. Weifang, Shandong. As a garden city, Weifang receives a lot of tourists every day. Lin Luoran and her companions are travel-worn. They choose a 3-star hotel in Kuiwan district to stay. It has been 10 days since they tracked Sakurako Asada and her companions. Riding on the sword is actually very fast, mainly because Sakurako Asada and her companions are too slow. The cyan little fox is extremely fast. It chooses the mountain road and deliberately follows them. The Nihanese must have suffered a lot. When they arrive in Shandong, Cyan Little Fox seems to take the Nihanese for a walk. Lin Luoran sees this trend and thinks there is no need to hurry. She enters the hotel and takes a good bath. This is the precursor of the hottest dog days of the year. The summer in Weifang is extremely sultry. When the three of them clean up and meet again, they all feel like Robinson Crusoe returning to the urban society. Sakurako Asada and others are teased by the cyan little fox. Lin Luoran takes 2 teenagers with her, but she has plenty of time. These days, they spend in the mountains. Although the portable space is very convenient, it is not as good as the delicious food in Chuan province. After coming to Weifang once, Luodong has been infected into a standard food lover. After asking about the cyan little fox's safety, he pesters Lin Luoran to go out. Shopping is a good way to relieve stress. Lin Luoran shows the 2 teenagers around and buys a bunch of wooden fish stones. When they hit them, they make a tinkling sound, just like wooden fish. The stall owner says it has another name, phoenix egg. Lin asks the fire phoenix in her space about it. She is despised by it. These orange-yellow or purplish-red stones of different sizes, although they weren't real phoenix eggs, were indeed made from traditional Chinese medicine. In addition, they were naturally formed in a unique shape. Since they were local specialties and weren't expensive, the three of them picked a lot to send back. There are also shops selling silver-inlaid lacquerware on the commercial street. Some are made of real mahogany and sandalwood. It depends on the craftsmanship and the quality of the wood. Because they are inlaid with real gold and silver, the price is naturally not cheap. Anyway, Lin Luoran sees a lot of people shopping in the shop. The lacquerware looks like art in the museum under the soft light. There are very few people who really buy it. Lin Luoran is very generous. She buys a few things, such as a screen with birds and animals, and a sandalwood makeup box with silver thread. As long as she likes it, she doesn't hesitate to buy kalai, because she has a second apprentice who is very good at making money. Lin Luodong also wants to pick a few pieces, but he doesn't have much money. Looking at the prices, he and Huang Weijian decide to buy them together. They pick a pipe for Mr. Lin, makeup boxes for Mrs. Lin and Li Shi. Poor Yuan Yi and Zheng Tian are not in the scope of consideration. However, there is an antique silver-wrapped plum blossom hairpin. The petal of the hairpin is slightly red. It doesn't seem to be stained. It is carved into plum blossom petals according to the original color distribution of the wood. It looks very delicate. Although it is small, it is more expensive than a makeup box. Lin Luodong and Huang Weijian whisper for a while and buy it for Lin Luoran. You two spend money like this. I won't care if you run out of pocket money early. Lin Luoran pretends to be unhappy. In fact, she even treats Huang Weijian as her younger brother after getting along with him for a long time. She can only be happy when her two younger brothers give her gifts together. After being scolded, Lin Luoran puts the plum blossom hairpin in her hair. Lin Luodong and Huang Weijian know that Lin Luoran actually likes gifts. Although their wallets are much smaller, even the introverted Huang Weijian smiles. After a crazy shopping, it is getting dark. Lin Luoran puts all the things she bought into the space when no one is paying attention. The three of them are going to eat local food, but it starts to rain heavily. They have to take shelter from the rain in a roadside restaurant. It is selling stew. Shandong is famous for its stew, so they have dinner in this restaurant. It turns out that the stew in this restaurant is also good. Water and oil are mixed to make the skin, and the diced pork is added to make the stuffing. The meat is wrapped into the size of a chess piece. When it is cooked, it is golden and small, crisp and salty. After eating the stew, there is a small plate of radish skin, which is crispy and refreshing. This radish is as good as what we usually eat. Lin Luodong whispers. Lin Luoran squints her eyes. The radish they usually eat is grown in the space, which tastes good. Except for the natural game, there are few comparable ingredients outside. Lin Luoran pretends to be curious and asks the waiter. It turns out that this is the famous Weifang radish, which can only be grown in the Old Wei County in the whole Shandong. The Kuiwen district where the three of them are located includes the Old Wei County. Behind the Beigong, in front of the Beigong, in the Guo family's farm, Lu Jiayuan. Dear guest, this is a unique specialty. Vegetables and fruits taste good only in places with abundant reiki. The produce in the space is proof. Lin Luoran is thinking. The rain outside has not stopped yet. Maybe she should go to the Beigong. At midnight, in front of the first lieutenant colonel of Weifang Vocational School, there are few people. The shops are already closed. Even those who sell supper have closed early because of the heavy rain tonight. This school is the site of the so-called Beigong. Why can exquisite Weifang radish be grown near here? Lin Luoran is surprised to find that reiki is leaking out from the soil slope behind the school. Is it the reiki that nourishes the soil so that the famous Weifang radish can be grown for 300 years? Where is the place where the reiki is leaking? the entrance of the Green Mountains. Lin Luoran makes a bold guess. The breath-holding spell and the mini-world completely cover the breath of her and the two teenagers. At this time, the three of them are on the rooftop of the teaching building, staring at the soil slope. The rain is still falling, and there is no moon tonight. After 3 o'clock, roosters in the suburbs have begun to crow for the first time. Lin Luoran's familiar figure appears on the soil slope. Such a small ball, shivering in the heavy rain. Cyan Little Fox has been having a hard time these days. It looks arrogant, but in fact, it is very stubborn. It insists on solving this problem by itself. Sakurako Asada and others also appear. Compared with Cyan Little Fox, their clothes are even more ragged. It is not so easy for cultivators to pass through the thorns in the deep mountains. You have gone around so many circles, but you come here. Is this slope the entrance to the Green Mountains? Sakurako Asada laughed, and she was sure that she would win. Along the way, she has found that the Cyan Fox is not as powerful as the legendary nine-tailed fox. Except for its extremely fast speed, there is nothing special about it. She naturally doesn't need to be respectful to a Cyan Fox that is outwardly strong but inwardly weak. Goldie hovers in the sky and wants to swoop down to help Cyan Little Fox. However, Lin Luoran tells it not to do it without permission. The feeling of blood connection lets it know that its master is just a few steps away, so it is not so anxious. For Nihanese men and Sakurako Asada each occupy a direction. Lin Luoran finds that they have formed a strange magic circle. A black shadow floats out of the ring in Sakurako Asada's hand. A fox is showing its fierce eyes. Is Sakurako Asada's spiritual agent also a fox? Cyan Little Fox is stunned for a moment. It is raining heavily. This woman actually summons a fox to deal with it. It's ridiculous. In this world, even foxes have forgotten the prestige of the nine-tailed fox family. Sister, why don't we help Cyan Little Fox? Lin Luodong can only see that Cyan Little Fox is surrounded by several Nihanese men. A big fox suddenly appears. He is a little worried. Lin Luoran murmurs, it is defending its home. We should trust it. The dark soil slope suddenly lights up. It is clearly visible in the heavy rain. 1, 2, until there are 9. 8 tails appear behind Cyan Little Fox. Plus its original one, it has 9 tails. The fox spirit branded Shikigami, which was only a low-level ghost, curled up into a ball in the white light. Chapter 316. The orange-red flame is dancing. The Grade 2 alchemy furnace with the Cheongchi beast on it smells good. Lin Luoran keeps sending fire whack into the furnace with one hand and opens the lid with the other hand. She puts in the butterfly bush flower. She is making a foundation-laying bolus, which is a middle-rank 4th-grade bolus. Unlike the 1st-grade, nourishing chi bolus, Lin Luoran only needs to put the herbs in the right amount. There are 10 kinds of herbs, several main herbs, and some auxiliary spirit herbs. Most of them need to be purified to different degrees, which means that the time they are put into the alchemy furnace is different. A slight difference can make a big difference. Lin Luoran glances at the dregs at her feet and understands it deeply. The success rate is really mysterious. The so-called percentage is just the general situation. If there is a special case, it will only make people more depressed. Making foundation-laying bolus can't be like making nourishing chi bolus, where Lin Luoran puts in 10 times more herbs and waits for the success rate. What Lin Luoran needs now is not butterfly bush flower or 7 stars grass, but monkey mushroom. Lin Luoran tried to plant the 2 monkey mushrooms given by the old monkey in the secret land. For the first time, she finds that the space is not omnipotent. Other mushrooms can be transplanted into the space, but the most important guiding drug of foundation-laying bolus has no reaction at all. Therefore, Lin Luoran is limited by the guiding drug. She has to be careful in every furnace, but she still fails many times. Thinking of the only big monkey mushroom left, Lin Luoran can't help but be distracted. Black smoke comes out of the alchemy furnace and there is a burning smell. The precious spirit herbs become dregs again. Tired and frustrated, Lin Luoran is so tired that she goes out without cleaning the basement. It is quiet and peaceful in the backyard of Lin's house. Lin Luoran goes to the island along the vegetable garden. There is a small herb garden hidden in the bamboo forest. Goldie senses its master approaching, so it shrinks its body and flies down. Lin Luoran catches it with her arms and puts a bolus in its mouth. Goldie is lazy and listless. In the cold moonlight, Lin walks around in the bamboo forest with Goldie. She can't help but walk to the bamboo house. In the past, in the room next to the study, there would always be a little fox that liked to jump out, clinging onto people's trousers and refusing to let go, acting all coquettish and cute, arrogant and despotic, begging for delicacies and spiritual herbs, tormenting the Lin family until they had no peace. Now, under the moonlight, the small wooden bed that Mr. Lin specially made for it is empty. The fox is nowhere to be seen. It had disappeared from Weifang, Shandong province. It had been 3 months since then, and there had been no news at all. The cyan little fox turns into 9 tails, and the Shikigami summoned by Sakurako Asada bows its head. The 3 hiding on the rooftop just show joy. Suddenly, cyan light bursts on the slope. With a flash of cyan light, everyone on the slope, including the cyan little fox, is gone. Lin Luoran finds that the leaking Reiki on the slope is blocked. Since then, the reputation of Weifang Radish has been destroyed. What's more, whether Cyan Little Fox opened the entrance to the Green Mountains and got it and Sakurako Asada involved is not even the point. Lin Luoran doesn't want to know where the Green Mountains are. What she cares about is whether Cyan Little Fox opened the Green Mountains voluntarily or was it involved passively. If it was the former, would it still be willing to go back to the Lin family? If it was the latter, how could it get out? Perhaps, it would never want to come back because of the troubles of the mortal world. The 3 of them stay in Weifang for more than a month. They are forced to return when the school starts. Even if they go home, Lin Luoran often takes Goldie to check the slope behind the Weifang Vocational High School in the evening. It takes only a few hours to go back and forth. She is worried that Cyan Little Fox can't find the way back to the Lin family. Unfortunately, there is no trace of it. Lin Luoran thinks that this reason is also self-deception. The Cyan Little Fox can find Weifang from the bamboo sea 2,000 kilometers away. How can it not find the Lin family in the city? She is just a little female cultivator at the level of laying foundation. It is an adult 9-tailed fox. Thinking about it carefully, she is not qualified to raise it, right? Lin Luoran understands these reasons, but she is still uneasy. She continuously wastes several furnaces of foundation-laying bolus. When Cyan Little Fox disappeared, Goldie was probably the one most worried about it. It has no partner. It is the only alien in the world. 2 days later, it is the weekend. Lin Luodong and Huang Weijian come back together. They are already in the first year of high school in the R City No. 4 middle school. Huang Weijian is not a local so he can live in the school. Lin Luodong also lives in the school and can only go home on weekends. Sister, it turns out that Wei Shui has also been admitted to No. 4 middle school. Lin Luodong is more or less happy to talk about his young friend. After so many twists and turns, Wei Shui is not far away from him because of the difference in junior high school. Fatty Ma, who is forced into No. 4 middle school with a lot of money, finally has enough people to play mahjong in this small group. Lin Luodong says a lot. The central meaning is that sometimes lost friendship can be found one day. Maybe there is nothing that can't be found. Lin Luoran finally realizes that the boy is comforting her. People and things that she has feelings for are all Lin Luoran's sore spot. She doesn't know whether her persistence is good or bad for her cultivation. However, even Luodong begins to try to comfort her. Lin Luoran has to face this problem. She can't slack off. There are still many things to do. Zheng Tian takes out the latest financial statement of Lin's pharmaceutical factory. They only sell one kind of Lin's typhoid pill. How can they make so much money without the initial investment? Lin Luoran sees the string of numbers and frowns. You didn't evade taxes, did you? Zheng Tian's face turns red. Grandmaster, I am an honest businessman. Yuan Yi comes back from the cultivation base in Mount Qingcheng. He pats the shoulder of his school fellow apprentice. How is the rejuvenation of the earth going? The name, rejuvenation of the earth, sounds scary, but it is actually a spell of the water. Its main purpose is to irrigate a large area. Zheng Tian's face darkens. He really has no talent in spells, so he is often discouraged by his school fellow apprentice. Lin Luoran puts down the statement. Well, I guess we can carry out the first step of the plan. You can hire a professional team or set up a subsidiary to take charge of it. You should focus on cultivation. Yuan Yi and Zheng Tian both agree. Zheng Tian thinks for a while and asks if it is possible to introduce a second special medicine. Lin Luoran thinks for a while and shakes her head. Let's wait for another 2 years. We will have made all the money. Other pharmaceutical factories will not be able to survive. Ordinary workers will be laid off. You don't have to be ruthless. Zheng Tian is thinking. Yuan Yi drags him away. After the disturbance, Lin Luoran feels more relaxed. She spends the weekend with Luodong. When he and Huang Weijian go to school again, Lin Luoran goes to the basement again. The monkey mushroom has been cut into pieces. The quality of the 1,000-year-old luminous sand, the 1,000-year-old butterfly bush flower, the 7 stars grass, and the jade grass, which is used in many prescriptions of boluses. There is a long string of spirit herbs. Lin Luoran checks the order again and puts in the luminous sand. The 1,000-year-old luminous sand is a milky white crystal, twice the size of white sugar. Because of its age, it is slightly yellow. The fire wacken is absorbed by the alchemy furnace. The wall of the furnace heats up. The luminous sand gradually melts in the medicine lattice like boiling sugar, emitting the unique fragrance of the 1,000-year-old spirit medicine. Lin Luoran thinks the time is right, so she puts in the butterfly bush flower. This small spirit herb has amazing reiki. As soon as it turns into a medicine, it dominates the position of the liquid luminous sand. The medicinal properties of spirit herbs were not necessarily compatible with each other. Alchemy was to purify the originally repelling medicinal properties and take out the required medicinal properties. Then, by mixing them together, it would become a spirit pill with various uses. Butterfly bush flower, jade grass. Lin Luoran is sweating. The alchemy furnace is so hot. She is not affected by heat or cold, but it is still quite stressful for her. Time passes by. Mr. and Mrs. Lin are still traveling around the world. Luodong lives at school. His 2 apprentices are busy investigating whether Tao's village can be built as a medicine base. There are only Lin Luoran and Goldie in the big Lin family. She looks at the boiling liquid in the alchemy furnace. She can even hear the croaking of frogs in the pond from the basement. It is already autumn. The Lin family is covered by the big magic circle, so the temperature is still not dropping. Li Shi's flowers, Mrs. Lin's vegetables, Cyan Little Fox's spirit herbs, and Lin Luoran's own fruit trees all have different levels. Some are bearing fruit, and some are blooming. Summer is over. Chilies are out of the market, but the ones in the garden are still blooming. Canna leaves come out and night dew is rolling on them. The cherry tree can't resist the law of the season. Its leaves curl up into a ball, which is so ugly that it can't be compared with the lovely cherries. The ginkgo tree is bearing fruit. This year's harvest of ginkgo is big. Lin Luoran's spiritual mind can clearly recognize every grass and every tree in the yard. When she comes back to her senses, Lin Luoran feels the compatibility of reiki in the alchemy furnace and the furnace itself. She can feel it more clearly than before. Following her feeling, she puts down the monkey mushroom as the guiding drug. 2 pieces of monkey mushroom melt as soon as they are put in the furnace. They become a bond and integrate the separate medicinal liquids. Lin Luoran is inspired. She casts a spell to take back the boluses. Winged Tiger spits out Reiki to help. The sticky liquid starts to rotate along the platform of the alchemy furnace. The first turn, it is glued into shape. The second turn, it becomes the shape of an egg, sharp at the top and big at the bottom. The third turn, the edges and corners are slowly smoothed and it is getting round. The fourth turn, it becomes more and more solid and it suddenly splits into 2. Did it fail? After a while, Lin Luoran opens the door of the basement. The moon is in the middle of the sky. The weather is so nice tonight. The gentle night breeze is like a lover's care, quietly brushing Lin Luoran's hair. There are 2 purple boluses in the jade box with outstanding Reiki. They are the foundation-laying boluses that are indispensable for cultivation. She never thought that she would split into 2 at the last moment and successfully receive 2 foundation-laying boluses. Is it because of the state of mind when she was making boluses? Is there no red vote every day? I'm so sad. I'm begging for red votes. The doujin who recommended Du Ruo's book is at the top of the comments section of Lin's family. Chapter 317. As long as one took the first step, one would be able to follow the rest. Lin Luoran's home is quiet and no one comes to disturb her. She only fails once. She successfully makes foundation-laying boluses in the first furnace. She successfully harvests 11 foundation-laying boluses when she uses up all the monkey mushrooms. Foundation-laying bolus is not something that can be found everywhere. Lin uses up not only the monkey mushroom but also the 7 stars grass to make the 11 foundation-laying boluses. She has collected many seeds in the secret land, but there is no 7 stars grass. If she can't find more monkey mushrooms and 7 stars grass by using the power of the world of cultivation, this will be the last batch of foundation-laying boluses she can make even with the space. Out of the 11 foundation-laying dawn, she has decided to give 2 to Li Shi, and 1 monkey mushroom was given to her by the old monkey. Yuan Yi gets 1, Zheng Tian gets 1, Mr. Lin, Mrs. Lin and Baojia gets 6. Yi Xiaobei, who finds the ancient book of monsters of wood, has 4 left. Lin Luoran doesn't mind giving 1 to Wen Guanjing if he needs it. As for the others, she will save them for when she needs them. Lin Luoran plays with one of the foundation-laying boluses. It seems that the monster Yang Lisha owes her some interest. Now Yang Lisha has the ancient book of monsters of wood. She only says that she will give her the record of Mount Penglai if she sees the soul wood. So Lin Luoran gives her a foundation-laying bolus to find the ancient book of monsters of Mount Penglai. Lin Luoran can wait for the news of Mount Penglai. She wants to take advantage of the next 5 years to reach the level of bearing essence. Mount Penglai is not a flat land. Her personal ability is not enough to protect herself. Lin Luoran has to find a way to help her mother rebuild the Taoist root. She takes out a bamboo tube and puts all the foundation-laying boluses into it. Compared with the jade box, the spirit bamboo dug out from the colorful waterfall is more effective in preserving Reiki. Before she has time to talk to the monster about the interest, Lin Luoran receives a call from Grandpa Gua. Has the analysis result of the Heart of Druid she sent to Grandpa Gua? Lin Luoran has to go to the capital in person. She doesn't go to the Fragrant Hills Villa this time, but to Gua's hometown. The Gua family's home was a heavily guarded base. Lin Luoran gets off Goldie's back. There is an old acquaintance in several military jeeps. Colonel Lu. Looking at the 2 bars and 3 stars on Lu Sanchuan's shoulder, Lin Luoran's face is twisted. Lu Sanchun has been promoted too fast in recent years. Every time he saw him, he would be promoted, just like a rocket. Most importantly, he was not a civil servant. Lu Sanchun saluted, "Miss Lin, please follow me." In the military jeep, Lin Luoran looks at the military equipment. To avoid misunderstanding, She doesn't let Goldie fly in the sky. She puts it on the open window. They drove all the way into the mountains. An ordinary barren mountain has been hollowed out. Even Lu Sanchun has to go through layers of checks before he can take Lin Luoran down. There are many people with different ranks along the way. Some Lu Sanchun has to salute others, and some Lu Sanchun can accept others' salute calmly. The ranks in the army system are the most strict. 1 is 1, and 2 is 2. There is no fake. However, without exception, they all have to salute Lin Luoran. Some civil servants and technicians even peek at the miniature golden hawk on her shoulder. The mysterious hawk of the state of Huaxia was so famous a few years ago, and Goldie is even more famous than its owner, Lin Luoran. After getting off the closed elevator, Lin Luoran arrives at a conference room. This is definitely not the belly of the mountain. She doesn't know how deep it is. It is more sci-fi than the Parasol Company in the movie Resident Evil. Many people are waiting in the conference room. The only one Lin Luoran knows is Mr. Gua, a 2-star general. She often heard this name in the news and thought he had retired. It turns out that he comes to manage the base. The youngest one here is Lin Luoran. As for Lu Sanchun, he is not qualified to attend the meeting. After sending Lin Luoran here, he can only stand guard outside the door. Miss Lin, can I call you that? The 2-star general is a little hesitant. He must know Lin Luoran's identity. Lin Luoran nods. General Zhang is still so strong after so many years. With a smile on his face, General Zhang stood casually with his back straight. Have we met before? Lin Luoran nods and pretends to be serious. We have seen each other in the news. General Zhang smiles, which softens the edge of many soldiers. Mr. Guo waves to her. Come and have a look at this. There are many white-haired old men sitting in the conference room. Lin Luoran takes a closer look and finds 2 familiar academicians. She doesn't know the rest. They must be professionals. Heart of Druid is placed in the glass liquid. An old researcher opens the cover and the translucent projection of the Heart of Druid appears again. Everyone here may have seen it more than once, but most of them still show an obsessive look. The design drawings are more intoxicating than mellow wine. This is the incomparable enthusiasm for science. Lin Luoran can understand. When she makes elixirs and sets up magic circles, she is probably in the same state as them. The word faith is vague, but sometimes it is really the driving force for human beings to strengthen themselves and promote the progress of civilization. According to our preliminary research, this thing should be something like a computer hard disk. Its main function is to store. After the pictures are shown, General Zhang concludes. Mr. Guo shakes his head. It also has the function of translating language, but the range of the conversation should not be more than 5 meters. General Zhang nods. Then it is closer to the existence of the brain. Maybe there used to be real artificial intelligence in it, but it has been destroyed. Miss Lin, we are having this meeting today to thank you for your trust in our country and not keeping this thing to yourself. Secondly, we have good news. According to the analysis of our top scientists, the technology recorded in it will not exceed the current technology level of the Earth by 500 years. 500 years? It is not as amazing as I thought. Lin Luoran is not very happy. General Zhang seems to see her confusion. Do you think that the technology beyond 500 years is too little? In fact, for our current situation, technology that is more than 1,000 years old is useless. It's like a 3-year-old child who hasn't gone through systematic learning and can't understand the same principle of university physics. This seemingly insignificant few hundred years is actually a very useful time difference. Lin Luoran is enlightened. You mean? Because the technology is not far from the Earth, it is the technology that we can really use? General Zhang nods happily. Yes. It is a pity that we have not deciphered the language of this civilization, or it should be more useful. Lin Luoran thinks for a while and has a flash of inspiration. She can still make elixirs and set up magic circles when she is ignorant. If it is really necessary, she may not need to understand these knowledge theories. If she can have the prescription of elixirs summarized by predecessors, just like making elixirs, Yuli. What? General Zhang stares at her with sharp eyes. Lin Luoran smiles. The name of this civilization is Yuli. Lin Luoran points at the same two characters in each picture and says with great certainty. Chapter 318. Why does she understand these strange alien languages? Lin Luoran suspects that it has something to do with the picture of the man in white robe she saw for the second time. Something is embedded in the depth of her ocean of consciousness. She doesn't feel it usually. Only when she is given proper hints and guidance, the strange knowledge comes out in her mind. Whether it is the interstellar common language or the written information belonging to the Yuli civilization. It has been 2 weeks in the underground base after Lin Luoran has finished proofreading the paper similar to Space and Spaceship Making with scholars. Master Guo comes out of the base with her. Lin Luoran feels the wind mixed with sand blowing on her cheeks again. Lin Luoran finally feels a little more real. Even Goldie is refreshed. Lin Luoran is deeply moved. She still prefers to cultivate freely. Things like making contributions like this should be left to the professionals. Anyway, she has done what she should do. Lin Luoran and Master Guo walk all the way in the mountains. Master Guo wants to say something but stops on second thought. Lin Luoran thinks for a while and makes a bold guess. Master Guo, are you worried about my suggestion last time? Master Guo nods. Lin Luoran touches Goldie's head. Everyone has their own specialties. I am not good at making weapons and setting up magic circles. This is probably the only thing the Lin family can do. The Wen family is from Zhu Mountain School and they do have some experience in making weapons. As for energy storage, have you ever considered using magic figures? Master Guo is embarrassed. The Qingqing Taoist has retreated. I am afraid. Because it is related to Lin Luoran, Master Guo, who has always been straightforward, is also vague. Lin Luoran lets Goldie wander around. Qingqing Taoist temple is not out of the world. The former first apprentice is still there. Young Master An is also good at making magic figures. Master Guo laughs heartily. I know you are not a narrow-minded person. In fact, Lin Luoran has something to do with An being expelled from the school and Qingqing Taoist temple retreating. However, it is not her fault. The world of cultivation has also guessed something. That is why An is ignored by all parties. Although Lin Luoran can't let go of An, she can't cut off the way for him to shine for the world of cultivation. Besides, going out of the earth and looking for a fertile land for cultivation is also very useful for the Lin family. Huaxia people are not stupid. Why can't they solve some academic problems? It's all because many people spend their time on internal strife. Lin Luoran has always looked down on people who suppress each other and cause losses to both sides. If possible, she also wants to see those unreachable stars. Elder Guo, I'm afraid I'll have to go into seclusion for a while. Master Guo is stunned. Lin Luoran changes the topic so suddenly. However, thinking of Lin Luoran's talent of laying foundation in several years, he feels it is a waste to get involved in these mundane things. He can't help but nod. She smiles. One more thing. I didn't kill with Luoran with Xian Yuanping. Master Guo is stunned. He has devoted himself to personal ability enhancement and has dedicated half of his youth to this base. He is a typical representative of cultivators have national boundaries. The only disciple he has accepted in his life is Xian Yuanping. Hearing that Xian Yuanping is still alive, Master Guo doesn't seem too surprised. Lin Luoran asks. Master Guo takes out a jade plate, which looks like the one made by the crazy Taoist for Jiang Mingyue. She didn't take this life jade plate when I kicked her out. Every time I see this jade plate is intact, I know she is safe and sound. Lin Luoran is silent. Xian Yuanping has become a devil. She only knows that her grandmaster kicked her out. However, she doesn't know that Master Gua has been secretly caring about her. Forget it. It is someone else's business and she doesn't need to interfere. Outside the base, Lu Sanchun is still waiting for her. Lin Luoran asks Goldie to come down. Lu Sanchun says that Commander Qin is also in the capital. Lin Luoran thinks that she has to go to see him since she is going to have closed-door training. Commander Qin is still in good health. Lin Luoran is relieved to make sure that his body functions are still strong. The wild tea she got in the Sea of Bamboo in the south of Chuan province and the famous tea collected intermittently in the space over the years have more than 10 kinds. Lin Luoran keeps some for Commander Qin. Commander Qin extorts several jars of spirit wine. Then he points to Lu Sanchun who has been giggling. Xiaochun is going to be a father. Look at his silly face. No wonder Lin Luoran feels that Lu Sanchun is a little strange when she sees him. It turns out that Mrs. Lu is 3 months pregnant. Lu Sanchun has never married because of Baojia. He is going to be a father in his 30s. It is really a wonderful feeling. Lu Sanchun is a little stubborn. He also participates in the top-secret plan of the world of cultivation and the secular regime. He often can't get in touch with others. He doesn't know that he is going to be a father until today. His wife has now moved to the capital and lives in the family compound of the military area. Seeing that he is distracted, Lin Luoran proposes to go and have a look together. Commander Qin agrees. After half an hour, the three of them arrive at the house assigned to Lu Sanchun. It is not too spacious. The decoration is not luxurious, but it is not shabby either. In addition, the environment here is quiet. It is more suitable for taking care of the fetus than those expensive commercial communities in the capital. However, Mrs. Lu is also 32 years old. She is an old woman. 3 months is a sensitive period. She is suffering from morning sickness. Commander Qin is the first to lose his temper. You brat. How can you take care of your wife? Lu Sanchun feels wronged. He can't leave the base all day. Don't we have orderlies? If you have anything to do, ask them to do it. Don't tire yourself out. How can Commander Qin not be angry? When the three of them arrive, Mrs. Lu is carrying a large bag of vegetables upstairs. It is not rare for Lu Sanchun to have orderlies. Lin Luoran looks at Mrs. Lu who is embarrassed after being scolded. She is just an ordinary middle school teacher before marrying Lu Sanchun. Commander Qin chose her because she was born in an ordinary working-class family. Her family background is clean and she has no connection with any faction. Because of this, Lin Luoran, who is also born in a poor family, can understand Mrs. Lu's mind. She suddenly ascends to the sky. She must not be used to the status quo of the privileged class. Although Lu Sanchun and Commander Qin don't engage in crooked ways, Lu Sanchun has been promoted fast in recent years. He is a new rich man. Commander Qin is born in the Qin family, so he won't suffer any grievances except on the battlefield. They have devoted their loyalty and energy, so they enjoy some privileges with a clear conscience. It's natural that they can't understand Mrs. Lu's feelings. Lin Luoran understands. She ignores Commander Qin and Lu Sanchun who are angry. She pays for Mrs. Lu and enters the house. She keeps the 2 stubborn soldiers outside. The 3rd month is the critical period of fetal formation. Mrs. Lu is tortured by morning sickness and she leans on Lin Luoran. Lin Luoran looks at her pale face and feels pity for her cautiousness. She puts some wood reiki into her belly. The fetus is no longer tossing and the mother is naturally comfortable. They chat for a while and Mrs. Lu is going to cook. Lin Luoran presses her on the chair and goes to the kitchen to have a look. Lin Luoran's cooking is not very good, but the ingredients in the space are top-notch. It is just right for Mrs. Lu who is suffering from morning sickness. After a while, the aroma of food wafts out of the Lu family. Commander Qin and Lu Sanchun smell the aroma and come in. They see Lin Luoran cooking. Commander Qin doesn't feel anything, but Lu Sanchun is in a cold sweat. why do you ask Miss Lin to cook? Oh my god, she is a cultivator. She is a friend of the Qin family, but she doesn't have to lower herself to cook in Lu Sanchuan's home. Lin Luoran takes out the dishes, you talk too much. Lu Sanchun hurries to help carry the dishes. This meal is enjoyed by both the host and the guest. Maybe because of the liveliness, Commander Qin eats one more bowl of rice than usual. The three of them are discussing. Lu Sanchun is busy with official business and Commander Qin is lonely, so they simply let Mrs. Lu go to the Qin family's villa to take care of the fetus. Mrs. Lu hesitates a little. Lin Luoran says with a smile, anyway, you are the adopted grandson of the Qin family in your belly. You can accompany Grandpa Qin. Lu Sanchun says seriously, I just told the commander that if the first child is a boy, he will be adopted by the Qin family. Lin Luoran is stunned. Commander Qin doesn't have much reaction. Maybe they are just discussing this outside. Well, the adopted grandson is not as close as the grandson of the Qin family. Baojia's situation is still uncertain. The Qin family has a successor, which is the foundation of the family's continuous reproduction. Mrs. Lu is more or less unwilling, but she is used to listening to Lu Sanchun. Although this decision is sudden, the relationship between the Qin family and the Lu family needs a bond to maintain, right? Anyway, no matter what the surname of the child is, he is in her belly. Can he not recognize his parents in the future? Mrs. Lu thinks it through and her face relaxes again. Lin Luoran thinks more highly of her. Thinking that Baojia is in a coma, the Lu couple must be filial to Baojia. It is not bad that Commander Qin can have spiritual sustenance after he retires. Lin Luoran thinks for a while and writes a prescription to regulate the body. Medicine and medicine are never separated. Lin Luoran has been making elixirs for a long time and she knows the properties of medicine. She doesn't make this prescription randomly. Your wife is an old woman. It is better to regulate her body. Take this prescription. Don't go out to buy medicine. It is best to get the medicine from the Lin family. If anything happens, ask Yuan Yi to come to the capital to see your wife. Lu Sanchun puts the prescription away solemnly. He owes the Qin family and the Lin family too much. He doesn't want to owe them this time. Yuan Yi is Lin Luoran's first apprentice. Lu Sanchun is not an outsider. Of course, he knows, a cultivator is his wife's family doctor. Lu Sanchun really doesn't know how lucky he is. After dinner, Lu Sanchun sends Lin Luoran out. At the quiet entrance of the corridor, Lin Luoran doesn't ignore a trace of struggle on his face. Is she okay? Lin Luoran suddenly realizes that he really hasn't forgotten Baojia. Baojia is fine. She is favored by a master. She is meditating in a cave. Lu Sanchun doesn't know that Baojia is in a deep sleep. Hearing Lin Luoran's serious words, he feels relieved and he shows some nostalgia. Lin Luoran looks at Lu Sanchun who should be high-spirited but always lacks some spirit. She thinks of the year when Baojia was dying in the corridor of the hospital. This honest officer's eyes were red like a beast and he had the courage to fight with Mrs. Zhou. Lin Luoran suddenly realizes that Lu Sanchun doesn't just like Baojia. He clearly loves Baojia to the bone. He is such a rigid person. He becomes the nominal relative of the Qin family because he knows that it is impossible for him to be with Baojia. So he changes his way to take care of Commander Qin and protect the Qin family's century-old foundation. Loving a person doesn't necessarily mean having her. Lin Luoran has never seen this kind of love. No matter how infatuated Lu Sanchun is, Baojia is in a deep sleep and he doesn't know it. He mistakenly thinks that it is the difference between immortals and mortals that makes it impossible for them to be together. However, Commander Qin keeps it from him. He forces Lu Sanchun to marry another woman just so that he doesn't want to waste Lu Sanchun's short lifespan of decades. They are all good people who think about others. If Baojia is awake now, it may be possible for her to be with Lu Sanchun. Anyway, Baojia is not destined to be with Lin Luoran. Although she is grateful for Lu Sanchuan's infatuation, thinking of Mrs. Lu who is pregnant at an advanced age, Lin Luoran still warns Lu Sanchun. Lu Sanchun is silent. Since I have married her, I will be a good husband and father. Baojia is my sister from now on. He says so resolutely that Lin Luoran doesn't mention another topic. She is not so cruel that she can't let Lu Sanchun leave a corner in his heart for Baojia, who he has lost forever. Since Lu Sanchun said so, he will definitely be good to Mrs. Lu. She believes that this young colonel will be a good soldier, a good husband and a good father. As for the deep love planted in them in their childhood, it is worth a lifetime of remembrance. After returning from the capital to our city, Lin Luoran has a lot of things to do before her closed-door training. She first contacts her parents. They are now skiing in Northern Europe. Lin Luoran asks them to have a good time and they don't have to come back. Lin Luoran also teaches Zheng Tian the spells of swordsmanship. Lin Luoran is thinking about finding a good weapon for her second apprentice. Zheng Tian is not talented in spells of the 5 elements, but he can learn spells of swordsmanship. Before the closed-door training, Lin Luoran takes a trip to Myanmar with her 2 apprentices. When the raw material merchants at the border of Myanmar see this team of 1 woman and 2 men, they close their doors and refuse to do business with them. Lin Luoran stops. Grandmaster, why do we need so much jade? Lin Luoran is doing the hard work of converting Reiki. She says grumpily, of course for you to cultivate. When I come out of closed-door training, you 2 haven't advanced yet. You will suffer. Yuan Yi doesn't care. Zheng Tian wipes the cold sweat on the back of his neck. Grandmaster's words are definitely meant for him. Lin's pharmaceutical factory is thriving. Zheng Tian is ready to do something big while Lin Luoran is in closed-door training. Lin Luoran sees through Zheng Tian's mind and kicks him. Zheng Tian screams exaggeratedly, but Lin Luoran smiles. Do you think I am kidding? Making money is important, and purifying the water is not a big deal. As long as we make a breakthrough in our personal ability, we will have more time to do what we like. Do you understand? Zheng Tian nods repeatedly. Yuan Yi has always been serious about cultivation. He has no hobbies other than elixirs. However, his personal ability makes it impossible for him to make elixirs. Lin Luoran asks him to pay attention to where there is a stable earth fire in the next 2 years. With the help of the earth fire, maybe he can have a try. Yuan Yi is overjoyed and smiles all day long. He is more easygoing than Zheng Tian, so Lin Luoran gives him the self-made emerald spirit stone and elixirs for cultivation. Zheng Tian is depressed, but Lin Luoran says, you don't have a storage bag, which makes him speechless. Although she says so, as his master, she will lose face if her apprentice is not well equipped. It seems that these necessities for cultivation must be put on the agenda as soon as possible. Li Shi's school is busy and she can't come back in a short time. Lin Luoran gives 2 foundation-laying boluses to Yuan Yi, which can be regarded as creating an opportunity for her apprentice. As a master, Lin Luoran is always worried about her apprentice's marriage. Unexpectedly, one day Yuan Yi and Li Shi really become a couple. Seeing that Zheng Tian is depressed, Lin Luoran gives him all kinds of elixirs she promised during the last trial in the Tower of Babel and asks him to distribute them. One of the most important, foundation-laying bolus, is to inform the cultivator named Yi Xiaobei to pick it up in person. Lin Luoran comes out of Yang Lisha's flower shop. Before her closed-door meditation, she has to confirm whether their agreement is still valid. As for the foundation-laying bolus, Yang Lisha is not an unreasonable monster. She promises to take care of Lin's family for her. Although Lin Luoran hasn't seen the monster in action, she can scare the crazy Taoist into hiding until now. With this big bodyguard in our city, Lin Luoran can focus on her closed-door meditation. Lin Luoran still uses a paper crane to inform the crazy Taoist about the Tower of Babel. This time, the monster doesn't stop it. The paper crane will definitely find the crazy Taoist. When you come out of closed-door meditation and give me the soul wood, I will tell you the location of Penglai. Yang Lisha murmurs. The soul wood is so important to her that she can't allow anything to happen to it. Lin Luoran nods, don't worry. Your precious acacia tree can hold on for a few more years. Yang Lisha snorts and doesn't say anything. There are customers in the front shop. Yang Lisha goes out to greet them with a smile, leaving a faint smell of medicine. Lin Luoran sniffs. It's the familiar smell again. Well, it seems to be Shisandra. Is the monster's original form Shisandra? Glancing at the acacia tree in the backyard, Lin Luoran feels a little warm in her heart. She must be a Shisandra that once lived on the acacia tree, right? She takes care of the acacia tree today. She is not a monster with a bad heart. Lin Luoran is more relieved to entrust Yang Lisha to take care of the Lin family. In the quiet Mount June at night, Lin Luoran has a headache looking at Luodong's watery eyes, which are surrounded by relatives and friends. You are all depressed. How can I go into closed-door meditation? Luodong stomps his feet. Sister, I will be 18 in 2 years. If you don't come out of closed-door meditation, how can I cultivate? Lin Luoran laughs. Yes, master. I didn't forget. If I am in a critical moment of closed-door meditation, my father will teach you the mnemonic formula. Okay. Luodong doesn't say anything. Lin Luoran looks at her brother who is almost taller than her. He must be reluctant to leave her, but he is too embarrassed to make such an excuse. How can she be willing to leave her relatives and friends? When she met Luodong, he was such a small child. Now he is a freshman in high school. Lin Luoran looks around and tells Yuan Yi and Xing Tian to support the family. She also encourages Huang Weijian and comforts Goldie, who is also reluctant to leave. She whispers in its ear, you should also work hard to help me protect my family. And don't forget to visit Weifang often. She wants to see when the playful little fox is willing to go home. If there is something you can't solve, come to me here. Lin Luoran points to Lu Yiwell. Everyone nods. Lin Luoran has made all the arrangements. She takes out the stamp and disappears on the spot. When she reappears, she is already in the magnificent Dragon Palace. Yes, this is the place she chose for closed-door meditation. Chapter 319. Lin Luoran is now the manager of the Dragon Palace. Although she doesn't have the power to deal with the Dragon Palace, most of the areas are open to her. Eli and Lianping's ashes are buried in a hill in the Qingqing mountain range by Lin Luoran. Now if Lin Luoran wants to enter the Palace of Jiuhua, she can go anywhere in the Dragon Palace as long as she has the stamp of the Dragon King. She doesn't need to use the barbaric method of blood sacrifice anymore. The virtual door appears and Lin Luoran steps in. The dilapidated Palace of Jiuhua appears in front of her again. This time, she is not hiding in the bead. She is the only one in the Dragon Palace who can stand in front of the dragon's treasury. It feels good. The first palace is still surrounded by white fog. Looking at the flying fog, Lin Luoran remembers that she still has a chance to choose. Oh, I'm wrong. Except for Rong Donglin, everyone in the Lin family has a chance to catch gifts. For the dragon race, the things in the first palace are just for young dragons to play with. However, for a poor cultivator, they should be good things. Lin Luoran thinks of the scene when Xian Yuanping and others caught gifts in the bead. She calms down and stands in the center of the palace unhurriedly. She can't let the first palace know what she is thinking. Otherwise, she will miss the treasures. Lin Luoran's mind gradually becomes clear. She slowly calms down in the first palace. Those treasures shrouded in white mist were like naughty children. They flew past her from time to time, then slammed on the brakes and quickly slipped away. In the state of emptiness, Lin Luoran's whole body is half hidden. A green light hits Lin Luoran and she wakes up at once. The dress is as smooth as silk. Lin Luoran holds a woman's dress. She is a little surprised. Is this her lucky chance? Why can't it be something useful? Things in the Dragon Palace can't be judged by common sense. Lin Luoran thinks for a while and puts on this dress. Pink is too coquettish for girls like Li Shi. Lin Luoran really doesn't like it. Well, there is also a hairband of the same color. Lin Luoran picks up the hairband reluctantly. A stream of information suddenly rushes into her brain from her palm, which startles Lin Luoran. Lin Luoran smiles as she gradually understands it. She thought of something in her mind, and the whole dress flashed, changing from the luxurious pink palace dress embroidered with peonies to a dark purple, bijia, with intertwined branches on the upper body, and a pleated moon dress on the lower body. As for the hairband, it turned into a gold hairpin inlaid with a huge gem. This was clearly the most orthodox attire of a girl in the Ming dynasty. Lin Luoran doesn't know who made it to please female cultivators. As the name suggests, the dress is made of top-level materials. However, for the function of changing at will, it gives up the protection function of cultivators' clothes. As for the spell of the 5 elements, the dress is much weaker than the clothes made of the same level materials. Only the function of changing at will is left. One set of clothes can solve all kinds of situations. Lin Luoran feels sorry. What kind of brain is this? It means that she has given away all her clothes. It will be impossible for her to win a female cultivator's heart in the future. Lin Luoran thinks that all female cultivators love to be beautiful. Lin Luoran is one of them. With a thought, the exquisite Ming dynasty dress becomes an ordinary dress, and the gold-plated gem hairpin becomes an ordinary hairband. Lin Luoran puts it on her head casually. It looks much more comfortable now. Lin Luoran decides to wear this dress next to her body. Lin Luoran has wasted one chance on the protean dress. She doesn't want to stay in the first palace anymore. She walks through the first 8 empty palaces and comes to the 9th, Palace of Nothingness. Of course, she doesn't care about the treasures in the palace, but the thick reiki in it. The Palace of Nothingness is a place where treasures are kept. Treasures have spirits and contain a lot of reiki of the 5 elements. Lin Luoran plans to do closed-door cultivation here for the rest of her time. After the heavy door is closed, Lin Luoran takes out a rush cushion and puts it on the ground. Well, the college student named Pei Yuan still owes her 2 rush cushions. Lin Luoran scratches her head. It seems that she didn't tell him the address. Forget it. Lin Luoran will ask for it in person after she finishes her closed-door cultivation. For him, it is just a pile of weeds. For cultivators, meditating on it will reduce the risk of going crazy. Lin Luoran throws an elixir into her mouth and sits on the rush cushion. She closes her eyes slowly. The fire phoenix and the silver fish are whispering in the bead. Rain falls from time to time, so the spirit herbs are not thirsty. The elixir melts in her mouth and is transformed into reiki. Lin Luoran absorbs it little by little. The bead slowly transforms the reiki in the treasury into peaceful reiki that can be absorbed. Lin Luoran's closed-door cultivation has just begun. Lin Luoran silently recites the nameless training chi spell she learned from Master Jia. Her mind is clear. There is no wind or rain in her ocean of consciousness. With the change of reiki in Lin Luoran's body, she lives through the 4 seasons of spring, summer, autumn and winter peacefully. Lin Luoran doesn't notice that in the Palace of Nothingness full of luxurious booths, a black lotus seed is lying quietly in a shadowy corner. It seems to be listening to her reciting the spell. Her mouth moves silently. Can it hear Lin Luoran's heart? Lin Luoran cultivates seriously. She is often awakened by hunger. She also knows that she should strike a balance between work and rest. Although she doesn't go out of the Dragon Palace, she occasionally goes to the ruined royal garden of the Dragon Palace. The dignified Dragon Palace can't be too shabby. Lin Luoran pried away the pearls because the Dragon Palace had no owner. Now she is the manager. She can't steal the pearls herself because she worked hard to install them. She tried to go for wool and came home shorn. Cultivation is boring. In order to calm down and no one talks to her, Lin Luoran rests in the garden of the Dragon Palace when she is not cultivating. She takes over the sea viewing platform. She occasionally finds some spirit herbs of the water at the bottom of Dongting Lake. She moves many of them to decorate the garden. She digs a pond in the garden and raises many carps, shrimps, crabs, and shellfish. Although there is no Diliu syrup now, it doesn't mean there won't be any in the future. Lin Luoran picks out these seemingly old fish and shrimps from the waters of Dongting Lake not to satisfy her appetite, but to hope that some of them may really have hidden ancient bloodline. If they don't rely on the Diliu syrup one day, they may become intelligent one day. Well, although this is an extravagant hope, the Dragon Palace gathers water Reiki. If this method doesn't work, Lin Luoran doesn't know how to solve the big task of enfeffing the aquatic race. Lin Luoran takes a look at the 1-meter-long carp with golden scales. She has high hopes for it. You little things, you have to work hard. After the rest, Lin Luoran begins her boring meditation and cultivation again. Outside the Dragon Palace, the first year of high school is over soon. Lin Luodong and Huang Weijian are finally ready to start their sideline business while Wei Shui and Ma Ming are arguing. It is a long summer vacation. Wei Shui's family is not well off. She is going to work and study. She buys a lot of seasonal flowers every day and goes to Tianfu Square to sell them in the evening. Because there was a miracle here a few years ago, Tianfu Square is established as a business district. Popularity brings huge business opportunities. There are more and more shops on the street, which attracts more people. It is a good time for Wei Shui to sell flowers here. Ma Ming is taken abroad by his father. It is said that they are going to Europe for a month. Luodong hitches a ride with Huang Weijian and sees the tribe for cultivators in advance. He reads all kinds of posts on the BBS and Lin Luoran's experience. Luodong thinks that he should be able to write a novel, right? The two of them secretly started to serialize the novel at home. Because they wrote it together, it was easy for them to update tens of thousands of words a day. A week later, the novel was published on a large domestic literary website. Luodong was so excited that he started to write every day. However, in less than a month, he suffered a setback. Luodong and Luodong stared at the pitiful data and looked at each other. Du Ruo Xianchen, the heroine's story is published on the main website. It is so cruel. The hero has no scenes at all. I can't bear to read the 3rd chapter. Luoya Hanfeng, damn, it is more than 300,000 words, and the hero is still in the level of training chi. What is going on? It is not so slow. Take it down, take it down. Shao Si, it is indeed a heroine's story. It is not fantastical at all. I am so blind. A fleeting life in a dream. In fact, the author's writing is good. Don't discourage him. Maybe he can change the subject. Lin Shao, I despise the person above. Writing is the last thing needed in an online novel. Lin Luodong and Huang Weijian burst into tears. Most of the stories they write are about real people and things. It is obviously close to the real world of cultivation. However, netizens like to write fantasy stories. In reality, there are many cultivators in the level of nature's calamity. Do ordinary people want to live? Lin Luodong and Huang Weijian's dream of making money as writers is broken. They choose to castrate themselves. This, strange stories in the world of cultivation, which is the closest to the truth, is drowned in the vast sea of books by new books every day. It does not make any waves. People are like this. Every year, countless people come to the Tianfu Square to burn incense and ask for opportunities. Some people jump off a cliff to find a master's cave. People in famous mountains and temples are full of incense, but they don't know that the true God is right beside them, in the online novel that has been defeated by them. Lin Luoran and Huang Weijian have to stop making money. 1 year after Lin Luoran entered the Dragon Palace, Mr. and Mrs. Lin finish a stage of their world tour and they return to our city. They have seen the frozen north and eaten the delicious sturgeon from northern Europe. They have felt the wind and sand of the Gobi Desert. The smell of roasted lamb is a perfect match for the horse milk wine. They have seen the endless grassland on the plateau and the high and broad blue sky. They have tasted the new wine in the vineyard and the old wine in the cellar. They have experienced the thrilling journey through the Strait of Malacca on a cruise ship. Because they have traveled far and seen a lot, they feel that Mr. and Mrs. Lin are different. Mr. Lin has an epiphany during the trip and enters the middle stage of training Qi. Mrs. Lin broadens her mind. Women's world is not limited to a small kitchen where they can only be accompanied by grease all day long. Most importantly, Mrs. Lin's inferiority has faded a lot because she can't cultivate. Mr. Lin is elegant and Mrs. Lin is generous. They are living their own lives. Chapter 320. The spring breeze in February is like scissors, thousands of green silk ribbons hanging down. The bank of Dongting River is blown green by the spring breeze. People come to Mount June. It is said that Mount June someone once found Lu Yi well shining at night. At that time, the light covered the whole Mount June. It is said that it is amazing. The two colorful clay sculptures in Xiangfei Temple share a lot of incense. Their drooping eyes seem to be full of colors when the light and shadow change, just like living people. Many high-end residential areas have been built around Dongting Lake. Many chemical plants with unqualified sewage treatment are closed. The government finally makes up its mind to clean up the waters of Dongting Lake. Although there are still many local officials with a fluke mentality, thinking that the local economy is paramount and the government should not be so decisive, what they do not know is that compared with the little tax and economy, the annual export of Lin's pharmaceutical factory is an astronomical figure. For these industries that are very destructive to the environment, it is the first time that the government has implemented this strategy for the first time after promoting sustainable development. The promotion of Lin's pharmaceutical factory is one reason, and the support of the military is another reason. More importantly, the helmsman of the Lin's family has made outstanding contributions to aerospace technology. This is not a child's play to carry people to the moon. Spacecraft, even if it is only in the research stage, has produced various high-tech accessories, which is enough for Huaxia to vent its anger on the international stage. What, you want to buy a technology of oil refining? You want to know an important rare element in coal? You want to participate in the periphery of the spacecraft program being developed by Huaxia? Come, sign this first. 5 notices on Huaxia's formal stationing of troops in Nansha Islands. The ambassadors of the major powers are unwilling and write the consent letter. As for Vietnam, the Philippines, and Malaysia who originally occupied the Nansha Islands, you don't agree? Oh, then go to Huaxia yourself. The US says it is deaf and dumb. The UK says it is busy. Russia says it doesn't know anything. Neon. It doesn't matter if you don't show your attitude. I didn't intend to let you participate. These are all cultivation, changing the general appearance of the world. Lin's family is doing this. Many chemical plants near Dongting Lake are closed. Zheng Tian lets Lin's pharmaceutical factory and Zheng's real estate factory jointly establish a subsidiary under the name of Lin's company. They buy some of the best sites near Dongting Lake. In the future, Dongting may have the best environment among the 4 inland lakes of Huaxia. Zheng Tian's father is very satisfied that the real estate industry is flourishing in his son's hands. For more ordinary people, such as the residents by Dongting Lake, the lake breeze no longer smells fishy and the dredging boats that rumble day and night are no longer noisy. Although the progress is not obvious, the lake water is obviously becoming clearer. High cement lake banks can't block the flood tide. In fact, planting trees can kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Ordinary citizens can't afford the high-end lakeside villas that are being built, but it means that they can't enjoy the beautiful scenery of the lakeside park. Walking along the lake embankment after dinner every day is becoming a more and more popular activity for people along the Dongting Lake. The sunset is infinitely beautiful. If the scenery continues to be so good, there will be more and more fish in the lake and the paddy fields will be golden. It seems that people don't have to worry about metal poisoning when eating lake food for a long time. When will they really come back? The waters of Dongting are 800 miles long. Cloud Dream Swamp is an ancient land of fish and rice. Lin Luoran can see the changes on the shore of Dongting Lake from Sea View Pavilion. Such a situation makes her feel that she is actually very close to her family. Those employees who were running around for the sewage treatment were the people of the Lin family. They look serious and take samples from the lake for comparison. They spend a lot of time and effort on detecting excessive metal pollution in the water. After a year, they smile when the water quality improves. They are Lin's people. The crowd of people who buy fish fry and come to Dongting to release them. Isn't that Luodong whose face is gradually becoming more and more clear and childish? Lin Luoran also finds Mr. Lin, Mrs. Lin, Yuan Yi, Zheng Tian, and Goldie hovering in the clouds in the crowd. They all just look at the direction of Mount June. They said that they could come to visit her, but they still don't want to disturb her. Lin Luoran doesn't cultivate this day. She has been watching the actions of her relatives. When the crowd disperses, she is in a daze for a long time in the Sea View Pavilion. A short separation is for a longer reunion. Before entering Penglai, she must have the strength of the bearing essence period. Lin Luoran clenches her fists tightly. She cultivates more diligently in the following days. Time flies. As the summer vacation of the second year of high school comes again, the second year is coming to an end. Lin Luodong looks at the balance on the card and wants to cry. He and Huang Weijian have to restart their aborted plan to make money. The two of them have suffered a Waterloo, so they have to put aside their short-sightedness. They decide to start from making small money like Wei Shui. The competitiveness of selling flowers is getting stronger and stronger. Wei Shui has to set her goal of working and studying elsewhere. What can she do in just 2 months? Ma Ming doesn't travel this summer. He is about to be an adult. His father, a nouveau riche, is farsighted for once. In order to prevent Ma Ming from becoming a playboy who doesn't know the immensity of heaven and earth, he kicks him out of the house, to work and study. Popularity brings business opportunities. The four of them hang around Tianfu Square for a few days. Since the market of selling flowers has been occupied, they can still sell snacks. Natural ice powder poured with boiled brown sugar and some ice cubes, a full cup only costs 3 yuan. Compared with the juice in the cold drink shop, it is very cheap, isn't it? After a cup of ice powder, they feel relaxed. It doesn't hurt their stomach like eating ice cream. It is a traditional snack of the state of Huaxia. How can it be worse than those cold drinks with freshly squeezed juice but actually concentrated juice? Don't bite off more than you can chew. They add a tofu pudding. No matter sweet or spicy, the tofu pudding is authentic and the seasoning is not fake. The spicy taste makes people sweat on a hot day. It is just the right time to buy a cup of ice powder to drive sales. Lin Luodong provides the materials, Huang Weijian is responsible for the transportation, Ma Ming is responsible for the initial investment, and Wei Shui is in charge of the sales. In the beginning, they need to hide from the urban management in the square to sell snacks. At the end of the first month, a small shop next to the square is sublet. The rent is too expensive and no one is interested. Fatty Ma Ming pesters the owner for a long time and finally agrees to rent the shop to them for a short time. If someone else comes to rent the shop, they can move out immediately. They move the snacks into the shop. The price is increased by 1 yuan for each kind, but it is cleaner and more hygienic. However, it can't stop customers from buying. When the summer vacation is over, the 4 small bosses close the shop at night to calculate the accounts. Looking at the total account, they are reluctant to close the shop. On average, they sell 500 or 600 cups a day. The price of a cup increases from 3 yuan at the beginning to 4 yuan at the end. Even in the last month, the small shop is a little more expensive. They charge them 15,000 yuan for the short rent. But the raw materials are actually very cheap. A caddy of soybeans can make a lot of tofu pudding. The same is true for ice powder, which is mixed with water. A bag of ice powder can make a large bucket. The so-called initial investment is paper cups, straws, trolleys and so on. In the beginning, they don't have a shop. Every pot of tofu pudding and ice powder is delivered by Huang Weijian. Huang's Confucianism is used in transportation. The use of these 2 months is more than all the previous ones combined. After deducting the cost, each of them gets more than 10,000 yuan. Wei Shui says it is a huge profit. Luodong feels that he can finally relax this semester. Even Ma Ming is praised by his father. All 4 of them get something and everyone is happy. Hey, shall we continue next summer vacation? On the first day of school, Wei Shui is still reluctant to leave. Ma Ming murmurs, believe it or not, these 2 kinds of snacks will be everywhere in Tianfu Square next year. In September, Li Shi, and Wen Guanjing come to Lin's house together as if they have an appointment. Lin Luoran hasn't come back yet. Li Shi, stomps her feet and goes back to her school. She is going to lay foundation. She feels guilty and comes here to find comfort. Of course, there is no comfort. Yuan Yi secretly hands her 2 foundation-laying boluses. Li Shi, wants to say that she has one, but she takes it when she thinks of her master who has been working hard recently. Wen Guanjing is also going to lay foundation. He has a feeling that he will break through at any time, so he comes back from South Africa. Wen Guanjing doesn't feel as secure as he does in the land of Huaxia. He also needs the protection of his family. Li Shi, took 3 foundation-laying boluses out of the secret land, but one of them is taken by Qin Yun. Wen Guanjing is about to lay foundation. The master of the Wen family is so anxious that he wants to buy the foundation-laying bolus from Yi Xiaobei. Wen Guanjing comes here to ask Lin Luoran about the things to pay attention to when laying foundation. He doesn't expect to get a foundation-laying bolus. The master of the Wen family smiles like an old chrysanthemum. Wen Guanjing realizes that he has been tricked by the master. No wonder the master reminds him to come to Lin's house as soon as he comes back. The master knows that Lin Luoran will help him because of his friendship with Lin Luoran. In order not to lose his mind, Wen Guanjing picks some refining materials from the warehouse and sends them to Lin's house. The master of the Wen family turns pale. October is the golden autumn of this year. Yuan Yi reaches the middle stage of training qi naturally. Huang Weijian, who doesn't accept the boluses from Lin's family, also reaches the middle stage of training qi. Zheng Tian is excited. Lin Luodong clenches his fist and cheers him on. His birthday is set in the winter when Lin Luoran and Baojia picked him up. There are 2 months left and he can cultivate. In November, the good news comes from Li Shi's school. Li officially lays foundation. Seeing that senior sister Li had really become Martial Uncle Li, the pinned posts in the cultivators' horde broke the glass hearts of many cultivation otakus. In late November, Wen Guanjing officially lays foundation. The master of the Wen family holds a 3-day banquet and invites cultivators from all walks of life to come to Zhu Mountain. Even Buddhist cultivators come to join in the fun. Only 2 or 3 days later, Mount June. Once again, auspicious lights appeared in the world. Lin Luoran makes a 2-level leap in her cultivation. The late stage of laying foundation is not easy to come by. +++++ equals. Chapter 321. Cultivation is boring and the world of mortals is tempting. Cultivators have always advocated cutting off the world of mortals. It is because such boring cultivation in the prosperous world is the most vulnerable to the temptation of fame and fortune. If the cultivator loses his mind, there will be no dawn for cultivation. Lin Luoran's situation is not the same. She didn't enter the path of cultivation until she was 27 years old. Before that, she earned tuition fees with her hands and squeezed out her youth to support her unfaithful boyfriend. Because of her lack of education, she couldn't get a decent job. Because she didn't want to accept the unspoken rules of her boss, her hard work for a long time turned into nothing. She was ridiculed and stepped on. For a little salary, she endured all kinds of difficulties because she didn't want to abandon her self-esteem. If she were to continue on this path, she would only continue to find a balance between reality and self-esteem. She would work hard to earn money and find a partner who was in a similar situation. The two of them would work hard in the city for the rest of their lives. Perhaps they would be able to buy a house and earn a slightly more respectable life for her son or daughter. The small space in the family heirloom and the medicine field have changed her life since then. She can turn stone into jade and cut jade worth more than 10 million yuan with a wave of her hand. After cultivation, she is like Fan Jin, who suddenly passed the imperial examination. Someone sent her a villa with a market price of hundreds of millions yuan. With the improvement of personal ability, money in the secular world has become easy to get. Many people have racked their brains just to have a little relationship with the Lin family. She finally becomes a force that can influence the world of cultivation in Huaxia by stomping her feet. The past and the past are two extremes. Many people will feel uncomfortable when they suddenly reach the sky, but Lin Luoran doesn't. She doesn't need to cultivate so hard. With the money of the Lin family and her status in the world of cultivation in Huaxia, Lin Luoran can eat the best food in the world, drive the best car, live in the best house, and be the king of the mountain. Then why does she have to cultivate in isolation and even have to say goodbye to her most important relatives and friends for a short time? Lin Luoran, who used to be poor and very rich, always knows what she wants. Cultivation is to see the vast world and have the real strength to travel the world. She can't live up to the fact that she has come to this world. She wants to see the wider sea instead of guarding the waters of Dongting and dreaming of being a king in the gorgeous dragon palace. He climbed higher mountains, not the low Qingqing mountain range in the middle of Sichuan. He occupied the mountain as the king and drew the land as his prison. If he could, he would go and look at the starry sky. Lin Luoran suddenly opens her eyes in the hall of nothingness. This was the 3rd year. The spiritual power inside her body had already accumulated to a peak, but she was still unable to form her gold core. Recalling the past today, Lin Luoran finds that apart from the Taoist root of Mrs. Lin, there is also a great wish she made when she was a cultivator. Her bearing essence may still be fulfilled in the mountains and rivers. Should I go out for a walk? Lin Luoran can do whatever she wants now. She feeds the fish and shrimps in the pond and talks with them for a while. She doesn't care if the fish and shrimps can understand her. She tells them to look after the house. Lin Luoran picks up a gold nugget behind the throne of the Dragon King and plays with it. When she came out of Lu Yi Well, it was crowded with tourists. "Aunt, what's the date today?" The female tourist was stunned. She had heard that the incense in Lu Yi Well was very effective, so she had come all the way to pray. Spring has just passed and it is not the beginning of summer yet. A woman in thin clothes suddenly shows up beside her. If it were not for the reddish cheeks and good complexion, the female tourist would have thought that she had met a fairy. "Oh, April 27th, young people nowadays can't even remember the date. What should I do?" The female tourist babbles. At her age, she has been in the neighborhood committee for a long time. She doesn't like the behavior of young people nowadays, especially Lin Luoran. She can't even remember the date. It can be seen how muddle-headed her life is. Lin Luoran doesn't explain. The woman in front of her looks energetic, but she is actually suffering from a hidden disease. She comes to Mount June to worship the Dragon King just to worship Lin Luoran now. Lin Luoran looks at the mountain full of believers. Some of them are white-haired and dressed in ordinary clothes. They just want to be healthy and not be a burden to their children. Some of them wear jewelry and murmur that they want to be richer. Ordinary people still want to be healthy, but the rich want to be richer. They are really greedy. Unfortunately, she is not the god of fortune. However, Lin Luoran is grateful for the kindness of those sick people. After thinking for a while, she says goodbye to the old lady and picks a Ganoderma from her space. Lin Luoran doesn't know how old the Ganoderma has been in her space for so many years. The Ganoderma melts into a small pool of concentrated medicine liquid in Lin Luoran's palm. Lin Luoran throws a piece of 1000-year-old Polygonum multiflorum and 1000-year-old ginseng into the concentrated medicine liquid. She only lacks caterpillar fungus, but it should be enough, right? Lin Luoran casts a water spell with her right hand. It is the rejuvenation of the earth that Xing Tian can't learn. She draws some water reiki from the waters of Dongting and blends the concentrated medicine liquid into spirit rain. In case that these people who come to worship the Dragon King will avoid the rain, Lin Luoran deliberately makes the spirit rain glittering. Look, it's raining. Let's go hide. No, the rain is golden. Tens of thousands of tourists on Mount June are so surprised that they don't have time to react. Some people are afraid of corrosive acid rain, so they take shelter from the rain in pavilions and the shade of trees. Some really smart people see that it is raining when there is no wind. The color of the rain is different and the air is filled with the strong smell of medicine. They come here because of their hidden diseases, so they don't mind taking a gamble. These people stand still. The spirit rain with abundant reiki and huge medicine power falls on their bodies and instantly melts into their clothes. The opened pores make the blood flow more powerful. Between contraction and contraction, the medicine power flows into the heart and then is transported to the whole body by the blood. The 4 immortal medicines in the human world are ginseng, Ganoderma, Polygonum multiflorum, and caterpillar fungus. For ordinary people, 1000-year-old ginseng will not cure them and they will explode. However, Lin Luoran blends 3 kinds of spirit medicine into water reiki and shares it with tens of thousands of people. The little medicine power is a great opportunity for them. Some knowledgeable people remember the miracle in the Tianfu Square in our city a few years ago. Although they still don't know how their bodies are, the feeling of comfort all over their bodies can't be faked. It is just a matter of a few minutes. The sky is blue and there is no wind on the lake. This spirit rain has disappeared. The trembling old man bows his head and says, "The Dragon King has shown himself. The Dragon King has shown himself." Those who miss the spirit rain ask the people around them how they feel. They beat their chests and stamp their feet. They have to bow their heads and pray that the Dragon King of Dongting will have another spirit rain. The Dragon King has shown himself. Shouts are getting louder and louder. Seeing tens of thousands of people kneeling down, Lin Luoran, the initiator, is stunned in the dark. The opportunity has come. Show yourself in the air and think of a Taoist name to prove yourself. The soft voice of the little silver fish suddenly comes. No matter how the 2 aborigines in the space treat her, they have never hurt her. Lin Luoran makes a hand gesture. The spell, shape-shifting, is similar to the spell, shaping voice, in the level of laying foundation. One is to transmit the sound into people's ears from miles away, and the other is to show the image of people from miles away. Lin Luoran feels it is like a 3G video call. Ahem. Hey, your clothes are not appropriate. Change into something more gorgeous. The little silver fish is very talkative today. Lin Luoran is wearing the protean dress. It is so easy for her to change clothes. The most gorgeous clothes she has ever seen are probably like the flying apsaras painting in Dunhuang. The goddess with drooping eyebrows and merciful eyes are like those in the painting. With a single thought, she was already wearing a colorful dress with her sleeves fluttering in the wind. Her hairband transformed into a beaded buyao with a phoenix head, and her black hair was coiled into a cloud. A water mirror suddenly appears in the sky above Mount June. A shadow with a fluttering dress appears in the sky. The face is a little fuzzy, but the outline is clearly visible. In appreciation of your sincerity, the spirit rain falls to wash the dust. It is a clear and simple female voice. Mount June is not small, but everyone can hear it clearly. Not to mention how surprised the believers are looking up at the sky. Lin Luoran also doesn't understand the reason why the little silver fish tells her to pretend to be a ghost. Is she a fairy from heaven? People kneeling on the ground feel like they are in a dream. Someone pinches himself secretly. He can clearly feel the pain. It is not a dream. What his eyes and ears hear are all real. Are you the fairy from heaven? Finally, the bold young man takes the lead to ask. Lin Luoran smiles. The water ripples and her face becomes more and more blurred. Some people secretly pull the sleeves of the young man. However, a newborn calf is so stubborn. He raises his head and asks again. Lin Luoran follows the instructions of the little silver fish and says, "You can call me Mortal Heart. Now I live in the Dragon Palace in Dongting temporarily. I come to see you because of the incense." Mortal Heart. Lin Luoran doesn't have a master or a sect. Such a Taoist name that should be given by the elders is casually taken by her. She doesn't believe that she can't cultivate her own Tao in the mortal world. She doesn't believe that a soft-hearted person can't achieve Tao. Mortal Heart Fairy. Living in the Dragon Palace. Is she a dragon girl? Are there really immortals in this world? This is the voice of many people. The water mirror is dim and Lin Luoran's figure has disappeared. In the late stage of laying foundation, Lin Luoran uses voice passing and shape transforming together. It is not easy for her to support so many people. Because she introduces herself, the incense that should have been enjoyed by the Dragon King of Dongting who has gone somewhere falls on Mortal Heart. Lin Luoran is Mortal Heart and Mortal Heart is Lin Luoran. The pious power of vow that enjoys the spirit rain on Mount June turns into the power of faith and rushes into Lin Luoran's ocean of consciousness. After a while, when she opens her eyes again, it is already midnight. Mount June is so quiet that she is alone. Lin Luoran looks strange. Isn't the lucky chance that the little silver fish said too much? At this moment, in her ocean of consciousness, there is a painted sculpture of flying apsaras from Dunhuang. The nose and eyes are exactly the same as Lin Luoran. Chapter 322. What the hell is going on? Lin Luoran is in the space. She just wants to figure it out even though the fruit is fragrant. Fire Phoenix is a little angry. Sister Silver gave you a big chance. It's okay if you don't appreciate it. Why are you showing off here? Lin Luoran is in a cold sweat. She is not showing off now. A colored sculpture suddenly appears in the empty ocean of consciousness. She is nervous now. Little silver fish is also a half soul and half spirit. It can't eat. It can take a breath of water reiki from time to time, which is a rare enjoyment. Of course, when it is hungry, little silver fish will smell its favorite mangosteen. I don't know. I seem to have seen someone like this before. Its memory is sometimes good and sometimes bad. Sometimes it has a flash of inspiration and can remember some old things. Most of the time, it is muddle-headed and innocent like a child. The Fire Phoenix chuckled and said, "Beg me, I can tell you." Lin Luoran's face is cold. "You still owe me a set of dragon bones." "Where is it?" Fire Phoenix immediately shuts up. It drags its gorgeous tail and flies around in the space. It is quite angry. "Now you have apatheicized yourself. Mount June is your Taoist field and Mortal Heart is your title from now on. Do you understand? What a lousy Taoist title. Just take it. This ugly name will be with you for the rest of your life." Fire Phoenix is entertaining itself. Lin Luoran grabs its beautiful tail. "What do you mean by apatheicize myself? Have you ever seen an immortal in the level of laying foundation? Tell me clearly, or I will strangle you." Hey, this Lin bullies the weak and fears the strong. She is obviously taking advantage of the good temper of Fire Phoenix. Fire Phoenix pecks Lin Luoran gently. The back of her hand doesn't hurt, but her spiritual mind feels a little tingling. The colored sculpture in the ocean of consciousness shakes twice. Lin Luoran can't help but take 2 steps back. Fire Phoenix is proud. How about it? Are you afraid? If you don't know what's good for you, I will smash your newly condensed godhead and make you an idiot. That colored sculpture is my godhead. Lin Luoran looks strange. She drags Fire Phoenix to make it clear. The swing under the apple tree swings. The Fire Phoenix's words are messy. Lin Luoran takes a long time to understand the gist of what it says. In this world, there were naturally gods. However, the gods were also experts of various races who carved out a place as a place of worship. They enjoyed the incense of the human world and became gods. During the golden age of cultivation, there were countless deities who had their own Taoist rites. Not only were there powerhouses, but even some weasels on the top of some mountains could also occupy a mountain and enjoy the incense. Some of them even had spells that could stir up trouble. Since the Tao of nature was in chaos, no one knows where the gods in the world have gone. Under the witness of tens of thousands of people, Lin Luoran first makes rain to cure the disease and then introduces herself. In ancient times, this can be regarded as asking to be a god. Of course, with her personal ability of laying foundation, if she dared to ask to be a god in the past, it would be a serious crime to offend the power of heaven. A lightning strike would definitely turn this arrogant little cultivator into flying ash. Lin Luoran has the advantage. When the Tao of nature was in chaos, the gods and Buddhas in heaven had long disappeared. In addition, she has the stamp of the Dragon King and the Golden Book. These 2 things are clear, so she can avoid the detection of heaven's doom and get the power of faith of tens of thousands of people. Can other people also ask to be a god if they happen to get the treasures left by immortals? Even if the gods and Buddhas disappear, how many high-level cultivators are there in the river of time? For example, the woman surnamed Ji she met in Babylon. Why didn't she ask to be a god? Fire Phoenix says scornfully, do you think everyone is as lucky as you to stamp their own seal on the Golden Book? Incense, faith, mountains and rivers in the world are limited. Of course, there are only so many gods. Of course, only when the predecessor dies can there be a successor. You also asked for the title of deification above the Dragon Palace. All these coincidences are hard to replicate even after thousands of years. More importantly, the inheritance has been cut off. No one else has the Golden Book of Immortals, and they don't know the depth of self-deification. Only one person has ever succeeded in self-deification. You've already taken the spot. Even if others repeat what you said and did today, you'll be the last god on earth. When the predecessor dies, there will be a successor. Lin Luoran turns her hand and takes out the stamp of the Dragon King. Has the Dongting Dragon King died at this time? If the painted sculpture in the ocean of consciousness is the godhead you said belongs to me, then those fireflies are the power of faith, right? Fire Phoenix nods, you are not too stupid. The power of faith is wonderful. You will know it later. Lin Luoran asks what is so wonderful about it. Fire Phoenix turns around the swing, spells, arts of nature. Holy spells that belong to you. Without the power of faith, you can't use the holy spells. Holy spells. Well, isn't it something of Buddhist cultivators? The more Lin Luoran talks, the more confused she becomes. Fire Phoenix sweeps her head with its tail, you are so stupid. Buddhist cultivators practice holy spells, but they borrow the names of gods and Buddhas. Even the power of faith is stolen under other people's names. Holy spells are also borrowed. It is impossible for you to have your own holy spells. Lin Luoran is non-committal, those who don't have a good life on the list of deification become gods after death. It seems that gods are not so good. Fire Phoenix laughs, of course they are not so good. Otherwise, How can it be your turn? Immortals are immortals. Many novels say that immortals are gods. However, Fire Phoenix says that gods are restricted by the heaven. They have positions and titles. Immortals are a branch of the free world. Whether cultivators or aliens, after passing the heaven's doom, they will be granted a priesthood. They will be in charge of a water area or command many celestial soldiers. How can they be free like immortals? People born in the upper world are born gods. Although they have a high starting point, they are not like immortals who have ascended. They can continue their personal ability cultivation. Their future is unknown, but they can explore higher fields. Then why do you say it is a lucky chance to become a god? In this case, gods are not as good as immortals. She wants to become an immortal instead of a god. At this moment, Lin Luoran also wants to stamp her feet like a little girl. Fire Phoenix looks at her with deep disdain. Gods are restricted. That was in the past. Now the heaven is gone. Who cares if you can do things or not? Who will check if you can work or not? You are a pig head. The heaven collapsed and you didn't ascend. How can you be an immortal? You should be happy when you have a god. You are only in the late stage of laying foundation. I have never seen a god with such a low personal ability since the primitive world. Gee. After being hit by the Fire Phoenix, Lin Luoran feels lost and ashamed. She simply flashes out of the space. The stars have gradually disappeared and the sky is turning white. It will be dawn soon. However, Lin Luoran's doubts are not reduced but increased. She is not disappointed about whether she can ascend or not. Since the Tao of nature is in chaos, she has never thought about ascending in an environment like the earth. The problem is that she has inexplicably become a god now. Will it conflict with the path of personal ability enhancement? Fire Phoenix also said that cultivation is the right way. Lin Luoran is not greedy about holy spells. Even if she is the successor Dragon King, she is in charge of a water area. She is also a commander without an army. The power of faith. She follows her heart and does good deeds when she is free. Let nature take its course. Maybe this thing will be useful in the future. At the very least, the colorful sculpture in her ocean of consciousness has the style of flying apsaras from Dunhuang. Lin Luoran likes it. Looking at the small light group representing the power of faith in her ocean of consciousness, Lin Luoran is generally very dim. It can be seen that these faith only comes because of the spirit rain. It is still very weak. As Fire Phoenix said, it is still far from the point where she can use holy spells. Looking at the water area of Dongting, 800 miles of Dongting is her territory. Mount June is her Taoist field where she enjoys incense. Hey, the water area of Dongting is her task. Now there is a dispensable Taoist field. There is no difference between becoming a god and not becoming a god or not, right? Lin Luoran finally understands the current situation. Become a god is a big cake. She doesn't know how long it will be in the future if she wants to taste its delicious taste. Her main task now was to cultivate and advance to the next level. The new Lin Longjun summons the flying sword and goes to our city. Chapter 323. Lin Luoran doesn't go home openly. She deliberately activates the protective magic circle and jumps into the house from the top of the wall like a thief. A ray of sword light slashed down, bringing with it a piercingly cold light. Then comes the light of the knife. The gentle knife intent is also a deadly weapon against the enemy. There is also a clumsy, binding spell. The seeds of iron thorns are triggered instantly. Although it is a little slow, the binding target is still there. Lin Luoran turns around and the vines of iron thorns entangle the pillar next to her. The sword light and the knife intent collide with each other after losing the target. They are evenly matched. Grandmaster. Yuan Yi stands with a sword in his hand, looking like a young hero. Grandmaster. Zheng Tian is wearing a suit. The way he swings the thorns is a little funny. Mr. Lin laughs. Why are you so naughty? What if you get hurt? Lin Luoran doesn't enter from the front door because she wants to test the defense ability of the house. Although the three of them cooperate very well, Lin Luoran still sighs. Why are you still going forward? What level of personal ability does it have to be to break into the magic circle? In the future, when we encounter this kind of situation, we should run for our lives separately. Mr. Lin laughs. Yuan Yi and Zheng Tian, who are young and vigorous, secretly disagree. They are the disciples of Lin's school and shoulder the responsibility of guarding the Lin family. How can they easily abandon the school when they encounter an enemy? No wonder even we know that someone broke in, but Goldie still didn't respond. It must know that it is you who came back. Mr. Lin puts the knife into the storage belt and laughs. Yuan Yi and Zheng Tian both greet Lin Luoran politely. Zheng Tian smiles mischievously. Grandmaster, you came back suddenly. Did you make a breakthrough in the closed-door training? Lin Luoran nods. There is no need to hide it from her disciples. Besides, the higher her personal ability is, the more confident they will be, which is also good for their cultivation. After 3 years of closed-door training, I have already reached the late stage of laying foundation. It is difficult for me to make any progress even if I stay in the Dragon Palace. Therefore, I want to come out and learn more to prepare for bearing essence. Yuan Yi takes a deep breath. His young grandmaster, who has only cultivated for 10 years, is already preparing for bearing essence. Looking at the simple-minded Zheng Tian, Yuan Yi considers whether he should change to the breathing method taught by his grandmaster. The method is not famous, and he doesn't want to abandon the inheritance of his former master. Even the grandmaster, who is also not outstanding, also catches up and enters the middle stage of training qi earlier than him. Leaving Yuan Ye's thoughts aside, Lin Luoran goes to the dining room with the others. The kitchen is cold. Mr. Lin, and Mrs. Lin are all happy to see Lin Luoran. It turns out that Mrs. Lin has been brainwashed by Wang Miao's feminism, saying that a woman must have her own independent space and her husband will love her more only if she has a wonderful life. Mrs. Lin often goes shopping with Wang Miao. 2 days ago, they went to a hot spring and haven't come back yet. Lin often goes shopping with Wang Miao. 2 days ago and they haven't come back yet. The 3 men can wash clothes with spells, but cooking and boiling water can be solved. Yuan Yi and Zheng Tian insist that they don't want the grandmaster to be tired. Lin Luoran looks at the dusty kitchen. She is grateful for Wang Miao's powerful fighting ability. Even the stubborn Mrs. Lin can be quickly corrupted. Lin Luoran can only cook by herself. Of course, she is also the grandmaster. Yuan Yi and Zheng Tian are trembling. They don't know anything, but they still have to help in the kitchen. It's not easy to have a hot breakfast. Zheng Tian suggests that the Lin family should hire a housekeeper to take care of the meals. Lin Luoran is in a dilemma. Of course, she wants her mother to have her own life and wander around as she likes. However, can the Lin family hire a housekeeper like ordinary people? When Rong Donglin comes and talks about this topic, the honest man hesitates. Lin Luoran asks and he asks if he can let his sister have a try. Rong Donglin's income has been stable in recent years and he has a house in the R city. He decides to settle down in the R city. After working in Lin's company, he sells the small apartment in his hometown in Shi and brings his parents and sister to the R city. The old apartment is located in the suburbs. It is a remote place and not worth much money. Rong Donglin has no mortgage, so he mortgages a small apartment with the money he got from selling the old apartment. The apartment is in the same building. Rong's plan is to use the apartment as his sister's dowry. However, Rong's sister has been undisciplined since she was in junior high school. She failed the college entrance examination and went back to the R city to study for a year. She didn't get into a university and got a boyfriend. After 2 years, she became even more difficult to discipline. Rong's parents have the same personality as Rong Donglin. Otherwise, they wouldn't have taught Rong Donglin to be honest and righteous. The problem is that most honest people are gentle and can't do anything ruthless. Conflicts accumulate for a long time. Rong's sister is recently encouraged by her boyfriend to go home and cry. She even wants to sell the apartment to start a business. As for Rong's sister's boyfriend, he often makes trouble in the Rong family, which makes Rong Donglin's parents so angry. Rong's dirty linen should not be aired in public. Rong has never told anyone about this before. Zheng Tian, who has known Rong for a long time, cracks his knuckles. Well, this is a simple thing for them. They just need to find 2 people to teach the ruffian a lesson and he will never dare to make trouble in the Rong family again. Yuan Yi knocks on his head. It's okay if you keep it a secret. However, if Rong's sister suddenly knows about it, they will turn against each other and never get back together. Yuan Yi is right. Lin Luoran thinks for a while and asks Rong Donglin, is your sister good to your parents? As long as a person is filial, he is not a bad person. It's not a big deal if he goes the wrong way. However, if he is cruel and merciless, he will be a scourge to the Lin family. Rong Donglin nods. Her boyfriend just comes to our house when she is not at home. Rong's sister is very filial to her parents. Although she is not good at school, she took good care of my parents for me in my hometown in Xi'an. Otherwise, she wouldn't be good at cooking. I don't dare to recommend her to the Lin family. Yuan Yi and Zheng Tian have no reason to object to solve the problem of Rong's sister. Seeing that they are so excited, Lin Luoran leaves the job to them. As long as you don't do anything to hurt the Lin family, we can solve your sister's problem by the way. However, Lin Luoran leaves some suspense. Rong Donglin certainly knows what she means. In the world, except for the Lin family, no one can scare Rong's arrogant sister. Rong has no education or skills. Rong loves his sister very much. Being a cook in the Lin family is the best choice for Rong Donglin, who loves his sister so much. However, he still needs to warn his sister. The Lin family is a generous family, but it is also a family of cultivators. What? You want me to be a babysitter? Brother, even if you can't tolerate my sister, you can't do this. Do you think you will be proud if I become a babysitter? Rong's sister roars at home. Rong Donglin is so angry that his face turns pale. Rong's parents don't know whether to comfort their son or their daughter. Before Rong's relationship with the Lin family, Rong Donglin has been working since high school. In the summer after the college entrance examination, he even carried bricks on the construction site to earn enough money for his tuition. Rong's parents are both laid off and can't do heavy work. With his college entrance examination results, Rong can go to a better university. Chuan University is good, but how can it compare with those top-ranked universities in the eyes of the people? It is because Chuan University can provide scholarships that Rong Donglin takes a step back. He wholeheartedly thinks about Sister Rong. When he was threatened by Chao Liang that year, he was forced to kneel down for the safety of his family. Now Sister Rong's words are stepping on Rong Donglin's heart. He doesn't even want to say anything to defend himself. Sister Rong's boyfriend's eyes flicker. My brother-in-law is talking about the Lin family. Does it have something to do with the Lin family? Rong Donglin manages a small department in Lin's that develops ancient prescriptions. This ruffian named Gu Xiang knows that the benefits of Lin's employees are attractive. He is eager to enter a department with real power. He begs Rong Donglin several times. Rong Donglin asks him, "What are you good at?" Gu Xiang doesn't give up completely. Looking at Rong Donglin's expression, Gu Xiang knows that he guesses right. He agrees for his girlfriend. What kind of family is the Lin family? Your brother really didn't lie to you this time. Gu Xiang's words make the other 3 members of the Rong family angry. Does he mean that Rong has lied to his sister before? Sister Rong listens to Gu Xiang the most. They whisper for a while in private. Sister Rong agrees to go to Lin's house the next day. Rong Donglin repeatedly tells her not to reveal what she sees in Lin's house. Her job is to clean up the house and cook. Sister Rong curls her lips indifferently. Gu Xiang also secretly despises his dignified brother-in-law. His words are better than singing. Isn't he trying to please the boss? Gu Xiang is about to follow them to the Lin family. As soon as he leaves the apartment, a black Audi stops downstairs. It is none other than Chao Liang, who had some old grudges against Rong Donglin. Chao's child is 2 years old now. Of course, he is not as snobbish as before. However, he is told by Zheng Tian. After Rong Donglin and Sister Rong get in the car, he doesn't even look at Gu Xiang, who is licking his face. He slams the door and rushes away. Sister Rong is shocked at first, and then she gets angry. She doesn't like to study, but she is not stupid. Of course, she knows that her boyfriend is despised by the rich man who comes to pick them up. She wants to get out of the car. Chao Liang doesn't care about such a little girl. He says slowly, "Brother Rong, no wonder you were so tough in those days. If I had a sister like you, I would have the same reaction as you." Chao Liang's tone is like a monologue, which attracts Sister Rong's attention at once. She forgets her boyfriend, who has refused to get in the car for a while. Rong Donglin looks strange. He doesn't know why Chao Liang mentions those days. Although they are working for Lin's company now, it is impossible that they don't have a grudge because of the conflict in the Manyao bar. To be honest, Rong still can't figure out why Chao Liang comes to pick them up. "Little girl, you look like you want to know the gossip. Why don't you ask?" Chao Liang rolls down the window and blows a smoke ring. Sister Rong snorts and doesn't answer. Chao Liang slowly tells the whole story of what happened in the bar. He doesn't mind it, and he is even smiling. Chao Liang doesn't know what happened in the bar, but he doesn't care about it. At first, Sister Rong sneers that he is a playboy who only knows how to bully poor students. However, she calms down when she hears that Rong is about to kneel down in the box. Chao Liang puts out the cigarette and adds the finishing touch, "I was ignorant and arrogant in the past. Now I envy you for having such a brother." Rong Donglin blushes, but Sister Rong doesn't make noise. She is silent, and the irritation in her eyes melts a lot. There is no word all the way. They pass the folk street unconsciously. Of course, Sister Rong often comes to this area to play. She usually spends a lot of money in the antique restaurants and bars in the folk street. Anyway, it is her brother's money. Sister Rong is generous. You're tuning into the Blissful Bookshelf YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.